We are live. Welcome to episode 25 of the High Slot Podcast, brought to you by Hedge Better Technologies. I'm here today, as always, with the boys, Bob Deuce,
How are we?
Nipsky,
Yes, sir.
myself, Andrew Coco Curry, and our behind-the-scenes guy, Jay Butts, is a healthy scratch for today's episode. How we doing today, boys? What's going on?
Doing good. Just happy to be here. How about you, Vinny?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, fell on my face on Sunday, and got a cut on my hand. Minor injuries, but was able to suit up for the pod today.
Yeah, classic, like washed up, like
Yeah.
I still got it.
Yeah,
Toe
yeah.
picks
It was
on concrete.
It was wicked. It was wicked stupid. A couple beers in me too on a Sunday. Somebody challenged me to race Sean Farnham. It was stupid. I had sandals on, but I took them off, and we ran on concrete, and I fell. We both fell. Stupid. It's wicked stupid.
Yeah, the kid
That's
comes in.
classic.
Kid comes in all banged up. He's like, "Yo, dude!" Like, I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like he was all fucked up.
Yeah, dude, I've been fucking putting Vaseline on all my wounds and trying to get. I got a flag football game on Saturday. I gotta be able to use my hands.
And you're putting Vaseline in something else too.
Yeah,
that's schoolyard bullshit, dude. Like recess, trying to race kids at recess, see who's the fastest one in the school.
Yeah, dude.
I beat him the
tough.
first one, but we both fell and it was bullshit. Whatever. So then we redid it, and I ended up losing by like a hair, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm a little old, so getting on the old side.
That's when you know you're washed. That's tough.
Yeah,
But-
tell me about it.
And he got a really, really big reality check this weekend.
It wasn't that bad. I didn't get toasted.
But I'm fired up, Bob. I know you are. Quincy College season opener tomorrow night up at UNH.
Oh, yeah.
Boys are going to be buzzing, ready to go, ready to make some noise in the division.
Yeah, last night, good practice. A lot of good vibes last night. Everyone is like coming into forming into a good team right now, and then bring the energy tonight. Last practice, last little tune up before the game tomorrow, and the boys are excited.
Oh, yeah, big time. I'm still chilling on baby watch. No news yet. It's going to be within the next 2 weeks, though. It's coming soon. I'm ready to roll. Bailey's been an absolute trooper the past 9 months. Got to give her a shout out.
Hell yeah,
She's she's been powering through it. You know, she's got the sore back now, just the uncomfortableness. So I got to watch what I say. Like I come home from golf and I'm like, oh, my back's killing me. And she's like, get serious. And I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. I probably shouldn't say that.
yeah. I'll just go stretch in the corner.
Walking on eggshells.
Yeah. I got to be careful. But yeah, we're ready to roll down in my end. So keep your boys updated. Should be coming any day now, any day. We got a big episode for you all today. We're going to start with our first segment, Hockey Guy of the Week. Then we're going to do a full Western Conference season preview, and we'll finish with our gambling corner and give you guys some picks that will hopefully put some money in our listeners' pockets. You boys ready to roll?
Let's get it.
Let's go. So we're here in the studio today thanks to our producer, Hedge Better Technologies. The Hedge Better sports betting platform is a revolutionary concept that creates a competitive advantage for every party involved in the sports betting process. They're putting the odds in your hands, cutting out the middleman, and empowering a future generation of sports bettors. The sports betting platform is coming soon in 2023, but if you want to get some early access, be sure to go check them out over at www.hedgebetter.com. All right, why don't we get on our first segment, Hockey Guy of the Week. This is a new one. We're all going to highlight, one player, coach, fan, whoever it is, as our guy of Hockey Guy of the Week. Bob, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm going to start off with the absolute legend, Jaromir Jagr. This guy is the ultimate hockey guy. So he owns a team, coaches a team, and like is the GM of the team in Czech. And also he still plays, but he's like on and off because he has a lot going on. Obviously, like, he's running a bunch of shit going, like whatever. But reporters asked him in Czech, like, "Oh yeah, are you done playing? Like, you got a lot on your plate, getting a little older." He goes, "I'm not done." Yeah, he said like his dad like just turned 80, he's sick, whatever. So like he has to like tend to his father, of course. Family comes first, but
Beast.
sounds like he goes like he's like, trust me, when I get back on that ice, he goes, I know I'm a little slower, but I'll use my strength. He's like, it's all about adapting to the environment. So when I read up on that today, I was like, this guy is such a warrior, bro. Like he's like Brady on steroids, bro. Like, like It's crazy.
Dude, how old is he?
He's like in his
46.
yeah, he's 46,
Is
right?
he 46?
Yeah, I'll
It's
Google
got to
it
be
right now.
something like that.
I mean, he's not talking about playing in the show, right? Just some like European league.
Yeah, so like part of the story too that I saw or what I read was that he had to practice or fill in for a game because one of the players on his team got hurt. So like he like filled in. So he's like an extra guy, but he says he's like I need to get back into the like rhythm of practicing and all that stuff. So it was like when I read up on that, I was like, this guy is such a monster.
Hey, maybe the Bruins will sign him. They like old guys. You know.
I mean, dude, he wasn't on the squad too much long ago, but
Right.
dude, Yogg's absolute legend. You never forget the mullet back when he was on the Pens. That's gotta be the best hockey hair of all time.
Yeah, he's the man.
Oh hell yeah, that Molly, nasty.
Legendary. Snipsky, who you got? Hockey guy of the week.
So my hockey guy of the week, I was actually watching this game. I think I want to say it might have been the Bruins game, Bruins Rangers. The first time they played, Gerard Gallant did the smelling salts
Oh yeah.
before the game with the boys on the bench. It was nasty. There's a video of Lafreniere like sniffing it with a couple of the guys, and Gerard Gallant's right there, and he's just like, let me hit that, and hits it. And he's like, and then they asked him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't like that stuff." He's like, "That's not the good stuff."
Yeah, yeah. You know what the good stuff he's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's sniffing something
Maybe.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, he played back in the day. He's probably
Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably sniffing something else back then, dude. No, something a little bit stronger than the salts.
Yeah, he almost threw up when he sniffed it too. It was hilarious. He like sniffed it and like almost like yacked. He like whatever took a double take.
Yeah, Gallant is another legendary coach. Is he coaching right now?
Yeah,
or
he's
did he
the
not get
Rangers.
Yeah, he's Rangers head coach.
Rangers.
Oh yeah, Rags. Yep. Yeah, brought him to the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yeah.
Love him. Great coach.
I got
That's all.
I got a quote that he said. He said, "Peer pressure, something you're not taught to give into when you're young. The older you get, though, the more inclined you are to just say, 'Fuck it, let me try.'"
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's nasty.
Hey, Gallant's
You gotta love the fuck it attitude.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
My hockey guy of the week isn't necessarily a guy, but it's Bowie the Troll, the Seattle Kraken's new mascot. Dude, he's been getting a lot of buzz on social media. So I don't know if you've seen this guy, but he's an absolute creature to say the least. So he's supposed to be a sea troll, but he's rocking like blue slicked back lettuce. He's got an anchor earring and a removable tooth.
Sounds like
Dude,
he's a beast. I seen a picture of him. He looks ugly as all hell. I seen. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, he's weird looking for sure. He looks like a paranormal activity like demon or something. He doesn't look like much of a troll. But the Kraken revealed him last week in one of their preseason games. He emerged from the rafters in this like electric display and then busted out a variety of dance moves when he got down to the ice for the crowd. And the Kraken won that night 4-0. So maybe Bowie's gonna be their good luck charm.
Is he the next Gritty?
Yeah, he sounds like a fuckboy version of Gritty. Like he has like the slick back hair, like the earring and everything. Sounds like a fuckboy.
He's definitely giving Gritty, the Flyers mascot, a run for his money. And honestly, he got a lot of hate online. A lot of hate. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this guy? There was a video of an interview with like a youth hockey player who was doing like a shootout during like intermission during the Kraken games. And they asked the kid, what do you think of the new mascot? And the kid just goes, I don't like it.
He must be scaring all the little kids. But,
yeah, no, he'll give you nightmares, dude. He looks weird as shit, but Bowie, dude.
Have you seen the Clippers mascot?
No, is he weird
he's
too?
ugly too. I forget what they call it. I heard on the radio today, but they're like, yeah, he's just like the Clippers mascot. It makes like kind of no sense, but it's just ugly. It's just like
I guess that's the new trend, dude. Just to make the mascot like weird as shit and like give kids like nightmares.
But the way you described him, how he entered that game, I kind of fuck with it.
It was sick, dude. Comes right down from like the rafters.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" It's Bowie the Troll.
Yo, I'm glad he's got a personality, because if he didn't, it sounds like he'd suck. Like just looking at the thing.
Yeah, he's up there with Gritty and like the Philly Fanatic, like bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, dude, the Philly Fanatic like makes no sense if you think about it.
It's like we have the Green Monster, but that kind of makes no sense.
But that's cool though.
Yeah, I mean it's because we have a Green Monster.
Yeah.
I mean, the mascot's one thing, but you got to be a sick fuck being the guy in the costume.
Yeah, dude, they're probably all yipped up, bro.
You have to be.
You
You
have to be
got
on
to
like
be
a
shit-faced
stupid
or
amount of
something.
drugs. Yeah, you have to be on something, dude, to like do that. There's no way like that person's sober.
Oh, the name of the Clippers mascot is Chuck the Condor, and this thing.
Chuck the cuck.
Yeah, go look at this thing. It makes it. It's got a blue beak and it's pink. You guys gotta.
Wait, which team is that?
The Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers in the NBA. Yeah, this thing.
I don't pay attention to the NBA.
No,
anyway.
but like if you just look at just look at the mascot, you'll be like, what's going on?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, it's like the ugliest thing you've ever seen.
Dude, it looks like a cotton candy head.
It won't let me enlarge.
Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
I don't see that thing.
Yeah, it might be burn your eyes. Yeah.
If you haven't seen Bowie the Troll, you got to check him out. He's the hottest new mascot on the scene right now, taking the social media world by storm. Bowie the Troll. Don't forget the name.
Dude, honestly, that's a nasty name, Bowie.
I guess I heard some other thing too. Well, I read something earlier that it took like 2 years to figure this out. Like it wasn't like off a whim. Like they took from the fans had weighed in on it, like players, all that stuff, like the public weighed in, and then it took them like 2 years to figure this out. I'm like, damn, this is what like the Seattle fans wanted though, like some type of thing, you know.
No, I mean, like,
I guess
what do you think, Coco?
I guess there's a little history behind it, like something with like a troll statue that's under like one of the Seattle bridges. That's like what he was like created after, but I don't know much more than that.
The Seattle prides themselves on the sea.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's right off
the Kraken.
No, but the way that you described Bowie, it should be Bowie the Diddler.
You know,
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, that's what Bobo name is team's mascot.
Oh, dude,
Quincy College Diddlers.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Hey, I'm not gonna say that about my alma mater,
joking.
my future alma mater.
I'll say.
Yeah, might get canceled.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get canceled. The first game hasn't happened yet.
Couple great nominees for Hockey Guy of the Week. Might have to put that up on social media. Let the fans vote.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those three solid ones.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we get into our Western Conference preview? We'll start with the Central Division. We'll do the same things last week. We'll go bottom to the top. So last year, the Arizona Coyotes finished last place, 57 points, second worst in the NHL. They had a couple new arrivals this offseason. Nick Bustad, Connor Geeky, Zach Cassian, Josh Brown, Patrick Nemeth, and Troy Stetcher. They lost a handful of guys, including Alex Galchenyuk, Dmitry Jaskin, Phil the Thrill Kessel, Antoine Roussel, Kyle Capabianco, and Harry Sateri. What do you boys think of the Yotes this year?
This organization's a fucking dumpster fire, bro. Like, dude, they can't even pay their rent.
Fucking terrible.
They're playing at Arizona State University, sharing a rink. Don't even have like a legit rink. Like they lost the Glizzy Gladiator and Phil Kessel. You know what I mean? That was like the one thing going. I mean, Clayton Keller, like he's a really good player, but other than that, dude, they fucking stink. Like they're not good, dude. Like they gotta be in last again.
Yeah, I mean, they could have Velmika or whatever is the goalie's name. He could have like a standout year, but like they pretty much brought back the same guys and they're just like selling and whatnot. I mean, picking up guys like, well, I mean, they probably had Alex Jason, Wings, guys that like, you know, just off the crap heap. I like the kid Lawson Krause. He's decent. They got some promising young players, but they don't really build. It seems like they're just like keeping all their draft picks on their roster and just trading away older guys. Like they have Chicharin, if he actually plays, which they're probably gonna trade him.
No, they're dishing him for
yeah,
sure.
I mean he's probably play a little bit, but he got hurt before the All-Star game and they couldn't get rid of him. I mean they stink. They're gonna be one of those teams that you're going to bet on like the best team during the week. They're going to play like the best team in the league, and then they're going to win the game, and then you'll be like, I love the Yotes, and that's it.
Yeah, they're like a betting team if you think they're like just like come out of nowhere and win, because they're going to win some games, you know what I mean? But like when they beat the Avalanche last year to like beat like their streak was unbelievable. Whoever like put that money on them like cashed out.
Dude, they got friggin' Louis Eriksson on their team. He's a dinosaur. Like he played for the Bruins like 10 years ago, and
he sucked.
Yeah, he wasn't good. And
yeah, the Yotes are going to be like plus 200 at the minimum on the money line each night. Like this team is horrible. Might be one of the worst teams we've seen in a while in the NHL. the complete rebuild mode for the Yotes. They drafted Logan Cooley, 3rd overall from Minnesota. He looks like he could be promising. They do have a couple young studs. Jacob Chikrin, who's their best player, he wants out. He wants to be traded to a contender. I don't blame him. He's a great talent. I wouldn't want to play for this absolute shitbag organization. I think them playing in Arizona State, honestly, might be kind of electric for them because they're not going to sell out home games as it is, but they could sell out, a small arena like Arizona State. You might get some of the college kids on campus. You should do like advertisements, like friggin' like $5 tickets for college students or something, just to pack the barn.
It does look like the type of barn that, like, if you fill it out, it's gonna look like all the fans are gonna be on top.
Yeah,
I'm
interested. I'm interested what that's gonna look like on TV. Them playing in a college arena that's like not even half the size of a real NHL arena. But yeah, the Yotes, they don't have much to look forward to right now.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think that like Connor McDavid is gonna be like playing at ASU.
Yeah,
on a road game. Like, it's like, what the fuck?
And scoring like 3 goals and like 2 assists,
Yeah.
5 points. You're gonna be like, yeah, what am I in, like fucking Pee-wees?
Yeah, it's like house league.
Yeah.
Bad time to be a Yotes season ticket holder if they even have any.
There's no way.
I saw the there's
way.
definitely not.
It's nasty.
Yeah, but
when I saw like the seats, I think they're like benches, like the seats, from what I saw. Like when they showed the video.
yeah, it's like admission tickets. You don't have like actual seating. Like they're not gonna have like 30 like seat 36B.
First come, first serve.
It's like going to Quincy Youth Hockey. It's like going to a Granite game. It's gonna be like
and the Bears are like $3, so everybody gets hammered.
Yeah. Quincy Granite's gonna have more fans at their games than the Yotes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have packed barns every night.
Yeah, I think this is an obvious question, but playoffs for the Yotes.
Dude, I don't even know if they're even gonna get the full season going.
Yeah,
Might not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's embarrassment. It's honestly a tough look for the NHL that this is the team they're putting together and they're playing in a college rink. But I guess it is what it is.
yeah, it is what it is.
Move them out. Move them out.
Yeah, they should just move 'em.
Yotes have no shot in hell at making the
Move
playoffs
them to
this year.
Move them to Hartford.
Yeah.
Whalers back.
I'll put my left nut on the line that the Yotes don't make the playoffs. That's how sure I am.
It's a lofty goal, Herb.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we move on? 7th place
Consensus.
in the division last year was the Chicago Blackhawks with 68 points. Pretty disappointing season for Chicago Blackhawks standards. They made a handful of moves this year. In the offseason, they added Andreas. I get this name wrong every time. Athanaseu or something like that.
Yeah.
Colin Blackwell, Max Domi, Jack Johnson, Peter Mrazek, and Alex Stalock. They departed ways with Brett Conley, Kirby Doc, Alex DeBrincat, Dominique Kubalik, Dylan Strome, Calvin DeHaan, Eric Gustafson, Colin DeLea, and Kevin Lankinen. They basically cleaned house. I mean, what do you boys think of the Blackhawks coming into this year?
Yeah, they're not going to make a playoff. It's not going to happen. Like you said, they cleaned house. I guess like with Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane on the first line, obviously they're going to have some highlight reel goals. They're going to be like still a fun team to watch. And Tennessee's a good player. Max Domi, so obviously like he's been a suitcase lately. There's a lot of people that are old on the back nine in this team here, and yeah, it's full rebuild mode in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what they're really doing. Like, if they're going to keep Kane and Toews and waste them away. If I were them, I'd get the hell out of there as fast as I could. It's just like they're hanging on from, like, the good old days, it seems like. But they're just not, like, filling the lines up. Like, they might get by with, like, the defense. The defense looks all right. Like, it's not great. But, like, if you fill out a team, like, a good 3 lines of forwards, which they don't have, it's going to be tough. I mean, you have, like, the it factor with Toews and Kane. Like, those guys can be leaders up front, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, Anthony Ciu and Max Domi and Colin Blackwell, it looks like they're just trying to patch up, like, surgery, like with Band-Aids.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I honestly don't understand what the Blackhawks are doing. Like, you can say they're rebuilding, but they traded away all their young talent. I don't see how that's rebuilding. You'd think they would have got rid of guys like Toews or Kane first and see what they could have got for them. But like getting rid of Kubalik, DeBrincat, Doc makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
This team's in disarray. They got a long ways to go, and they're honestly not far removed from a couple Stanley Cups. That wasn't that long ago. But yeah, this team's a disaster.
Yeah, the whole DeBrincat thing was like the biggest head scratch out of everything. Like he is so nasty and so young. It's like, dude, like why wouldn't you just like hold on to him and like build around him? And yeah, maybe get rid of hold on to Kane unless he like requested a trade, but like get rid of I know he's the captain, but Taves is kind of declining. He's been declining for the past couple of years, but I don't know. Like I don't know what they're doing over in Chicago, but it's definitely gonna be a rebuild.
It's just if I was Kane, I'd be like, get me out of here. Like I want to win. Like DeBrincat might have been the biggest. Like that was like you keep that guy. He puts up 40 goals, 20, 30, maybe 30 assists at like his bat. Maybe that's maybe the best he can do with passing. But like Kane, you could tell Kane and DeBrincat love playing together. Yeah. Like they would dish each other. Well, I mean, Kane would usually dish DeBrincat and DeBrincat would score. Like they were nasty together. If I'm a Blackhawks fan, I'd pick it outside of the whatever they call the center out there where they play. But like, yeah, I don't know where they're going. They don't have really any goaltending. Drew Commesso, I think they might give him a shot with Peter Mrazek. Mrazek hasn't kind of been on the decline too. Hasn't been great. Yeah, I don't know. Their defense is young, which is all right, but the rest of it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and another team not much to look forward to if you're a Chicago Blackhawks fan coming into the season. I think there's absolutely no shot in hell they make the playoffs either.
No, they might be tank. It's Bedard season.
Yeah, it could be tank for Bedard season.
But maybe they want him instead of having DeBrincat. It's a difference, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, moving on. We got the Winnipeg Jets up next. They were 6th in the division last year, 89 points. Not a bad year. Honestly, finishing 6th with 89 points is kind of impressive. Just shows how good this division was. They added Sam Gagner, Kyle Capobianco, and David Rittich this offseason. They did lose Adam Brooks, Zach Sanford, Paul Stastny, Evgeny Sveshnikov, and Eric Comrie. They also re-signed Mason Appleton for 3 years, Pierre-Luc Dubois for 1 year, $6 million. What do you guys think of the Jets heading into the season?
I have high hopes for them. Rick Bowness is going to come in and just have a complete different view on pretty much everything. Like they're going to be like way more of like it's like a hybrid because like obviously you got Bowness as like mostly a defensive-minded coach, but he gives freedom to his skill players. Paul Maurice was more of like just like straight lockdown D and everything, and I feel like it kind of held back a lot of players that could be more creative in the neutral zone and like in the forward 2 zones, the neutral zone and offensive zone. So yeah, I think they're gonna bounce back. Hellebuck's a hell of a goaltender. Let's see if Pierre-Luc Dubois will bounce back off of a so-so year, and Blake Wheeler needs to figure it the fuck out. Like he got the C strip from him. He needs to figure it out. Kyle Connor. He was a 40-plus goal scorer last year. I'm a big fan of him. He's really good. And they have a pretty solid decor from what I see right here too. So I can see them being a playoff team second round. I would project.
Yeah, they're a disappointment. I like the Jets. I don't know really what was going on. Bob might have touched on it, a little too conservative with the forwards, but you got like a guy like Scheifele. Connor, I like Dubois, like you mentioned. Appleton's got some potential. Did they add Sam Gagner like recently? Is that like, or was he always on the team?
They added him.
Yeah, getting older. He's probably maybe got some skill. I don't know about that. Adam Lowry. I mean, Cole Perfetti's a rookie, right, this year, so maybe they'll get some from him. Blake Wheeler, though, I just don't get how you're still on the team. You know, like that seems like a very big step back for a guy who like was pretty good a couple of years ago and gets the C stripped, and I don't get how he's still here on Winnipeg. Yeah, their defense doesn't look that sturdy to me. It's a lot of like no names, maybe some guys that got the crap heap. Like Neil Pionk, Josh Morrissey's solid. Nate Schmidt,
he's good.
Yeah, he's good too.
Brendan Dillon's good too.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I like them. But we'll see. They should take a jump better than last year. definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jets are a tricky team for me. I think the biggest offseason addition they had was adding new coach, Rick Bowness. Other than that, I think their offseason kind of sucked. I mean, the big moves were re-signing Mason Appleton for 3 years and Dubois, who's kind of been a bust ever since he left Columbus. I honestly don't have high hopes for the Jets this year. I hope they turn around, but I don't see it happening. Maybe stripping Blake Wheeler of the captaincy is what they needed, but I think this organization is kind of a dumpster fire right now. They do have a decent amount of talent on that roster, but they need to figure it out in the locker room. I think it starts there, and maybe Rick Bowness can kind of whip them into shape. Paul Maurice kind of lost that locker room last year. That's why he stepped down. But yeah, I don't see the Jets making playoffs this year. I don't think they can put it together.
Yeah, that's fair to say. But if they fire from all cylinders and everyone, and they get the production that they need from every single person, and Bonus does turn it around like I think he will, I think you can see him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean they should. They have the goaltending, the D's solid, but like the four, like I don't. They're a tough tell because they don't really have an alpha male on the forward.
Yeah, it's fair to say too. I mean, Kyle Connor is a 40-plus goal scorer.
He
so.
should. I mean, but like, it seems like I like Scheifele, but it doesn't seem like. Other than that, it's like,
Yeah, I just think looking at the other teams in this division's stacked. It's a tough division to compete in. Looking at the other teams, I think Winnipeg doesn't stack up against some of these other guys at the top of the division. All right, why don't we move on next? We got Nashville Predators. They finished 5th in the division last year, 97 points, earned a wild card spot, but unfortunately got swept first round against the eventual Stanley Cup champs, Colorado Avalanche. They were busy this offseason. They added Mark Jankowski, Nino Niederreiter, Zach Stanford, Ryan McDonough, who they ended up extending for 4 years, and Kevin Lankinen. They got rid of Nick Cousins, Luke Kunin, Matt Benning, and David Rittich. They were also able to re-sign Philip Forsberg, 8 years, $8.5 million, Cody Glass, and they picked up our boy Jeremy Lozon.
Oh, Jesus.
What do we think about Nashville this year?
They have a loaded forward core. That's what's really going to get them into the playoffs. I'm not sure like if they're going to make it out of the first round. It really depends who they get, like what draw they get. Like obviously they run to Colorado again, they probably end up getting smoked, like a juggernaut like that. But because looking at their D core, like also you got Roman Josi, probably should have won the defensive of the year last year. I can't think of the. Oh, Norris.
Calder.
There you go.
No, Norris.
There you go. I had a brain fart. Yeah, you should have won the Norris in my opinion last year. And I mean they got Ryan McDonough, but other than that, the Dante Fabro, like he's shown some good promise last year, but see if he can step up. Matthias Ekholm's pretty solid, pretty decent. Lozon question mark, and Alexandre Carrier. I don't know. I haven't seen that name before, but. And also you got UC Saros back there minding the net, and he's always in the mix for the Vezina. So I think they're definitely a poised playoff team, and we'll see if they can get out of the first round this year.
Yeah, I like the roster they put together. Like you said, Sanford, good pickup. He's been there before, and he's won it. Philip Forsberg, always a good person to have, obviously. He just signed, right? Or was that last year?
Sanford just signed.
Oh, Sanford just signed, but yeah. Forsberg's on for like 8 years, right, from last year?
Yeah.
Obviously, I like their centers. I mean, Duchesne, he's got to, like, maybe pick it up on the DN there. I love their goaltending. They got Saros and Lankinen, both Finnish guys, probably know each other. Probably good connection there. Don't love Lozon on the defense. He probably not cracking top 6. Maybe he is the 6th guy.
Yeah. Right now he's projected 3rd pair. So
yeah, I mean I like them on the DN, the Predators definitely. I could see them definitely making the playoffs this year. But they're one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams, though. You know what I mean? Like kind of like Winnipeg. Like Winnipeg, you expect to be good, but then they just have a horrible year and they just can't figure it out.
It's just consistency. That's for like pretty much any team, but consistency is just key in general. Like you can have like the best team on paper. Like on paper right now, this team, like especially their forward core, they can go far. It's just all about just being consistent. Like they got Nino Niederreiter. That's like
that's a good pickup.
Like that's a good pickup. You know what I mean? So what do you think, Coco?
Yeah, I'm big on the Preds this year. I think they had a big offseason. Signing, McDonough, big pickup on the back end. I love Jankowski, Niederreiter, guys who have been there before. One pretty interesting stat I came across today. Nashville's made the playoffs 8 straight years. I don't think anyone would have thought that.
Yeah, that's sneaky. That's a sneaky stat.
Sneaky playoff team every year. Somehow they get in. I think they upgrade their roster big time. Saros, stud in between the pipes, definitely a Vezina candidate. Like what they have all around up front and on the back end. I'm big on the Preds. I think they're a playoff team for sure this year. They're going to be competitive. Definitely going to make a run in this division. I think they kind of got shafted last year. Saros got hurt right before the playoffs. Not much you can do about that going up against the Abs and the absolute wagon of a team that they had. They really didn't stand a chance without Saros. But hey, if he was in between the pipes, you never know what would have happened.
Yeah, that's why they got Lankin on the offseason, so just in case that happens, because Lankin can steal a game if he really puts his mind to it and is on that night.
Yeah, they'll be splitting time too. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
They probably the same. I'm looking at it right now. Same year, like Finns. They know each other, so they don't want the same thing that happened last year to Saros. Get hurt, too much of a workload. He's a small goalie though. He's 5'11", and like those guys get overlooked nowadays. They all want 6'4", 6'5" guys like Vasilevsky. I'm trying to think of other guys, but anyway, so that's the thing. I think he's really small and like he has to play like he's a Jeremy Swayman, and Jeremy Swayman's tall, athletic guy, but like this guy's like 5'11". No,
Jesus.
No wonder why he's getting hurt.
Choking on your shit.
No, it's my no. Choking on phlegm. Sorry.
He's swallowed a fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, big things in Smashville this year. Looking forward to seeing them play. All right, moving on. We got Dallas Stars. They were 4th in the division last year, 98 points. They took Calgary to 7 games, but eventually lost in Game 7. Some new arrivals they have from the offseason is Mason Marshman, Will Butcher, Nick Lundqvist, and Colin Miller. They parted ways with Alexander Radulov, who ended up signing back in Russia. Michael Raffle, Vladislav Nemastenkov, John Klingberg, and Andres Sakara. They did re-sign a couple key guys. Dennis Gurianov for 1 year, $3 million. Jake Ottinger got a 3-year extension for $4 million, and they also solidified Scotty Wedgwood as the backup. What do you boys think of Dallas this year?
I have really big aspirations for them. You know why? Because RoboCop actually just signed.
Yep. Last night.
4 years.
Last night.
And then so I actually have a lot of high aspirations to this team. They took a really good Oilers team to 7 last year. So Jake Ottinger looks like the answer for this franchise. He's gonna be such a good goalie for this franchise for time to come. They got Jason Robinson back, RoboCop. Pavelski's just an ageless wonder. I love the Mason Marchment addition. He is a stud. He's a beast. He goes out there, goes in the corner, punches you in the mouth, and puts the puck in the net. Jamie Benn is just an absolute warrior out there. Obviously Sagan, he's hit or miss, but maybe he'll have a big year this year. It's just the only thing that's keeping him back is their defense. They got Miro Heiskanen, who's nasty, definitely top 10 defenseman every year. And then they got Ryan Suter, who's vet, but he's definitely a little older. And then everyone else is kind of just no names. But yeah, the 1-2 punch with Ottinger and Scott Wedgwood is gonna be a treat to see this season. So yeah, I think they'll be back in the first round and maybe sneaking into the second round. I think they'll be a sneaky team.
Yeah, what you're alluding to, with the whole defense is weak type of thing. You're saying, I agree because they pretty much are got the goalies. You know what I'm saying? Their goalie, they're deep at goalie. Ottinger, Wedgwood, Khudobin. They're probably trying to patch it up with that goaltending. They know they're weak at D. They're gonna score a lot of goals, so a lot of overs probably for those games. I agree though. I love the Stars. I was watching last night and it was full tilt against the Avs last night. Both teams full tilt. Makar. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if the Avs were full tilt, but I know the Stars where they had all their boys playing. Sagan, Marchment, Rupe Hintz, I love. Gurianov, that's good. I like him a lot too. Jamie Benn leading the team, but what you said, what did you say about the guy that signed back to Russia, Radulov?
Yeah.
Radulov signed with he didn't sign back. He went to the army. That's what they do over there. He went to fight in Ukraine. But anyway, so yeah, no, I like the Stars. They looked good last night, 2-1. Yeah, I watched them last night. It looked great. Mason Marchman went back to Dallas in memory of his father too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't get over how he just said he went to go fight in Ukraine. That's hilarious.
Dude,
if you're a Russian and you go back to sign with Russia, what are you doing?
Vinny was like, "No, Radulov was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go fight in a war. Fuck you guys." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm more my patriotism is more important than hockey.
I'm sorry, RoboCop though. Like that was huge last night. He signed like right after the game or during it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it was definitely. It might have been. It was. It
He
said
didn't play.
No, he didn't play. It was definitely during. He's probably up in the 9th floor watching.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we look good against the Avs. Where's the pen?
What do you think, Ogo?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Radulov that he'd go back just to fight in the war, dude. He's a sick fuck.
He's good.
Just by looking at him, dude.
He's a
he
fucking
looks
farm
like
animal.
He looks like a certified killer just looking at him.
Yeah.
But no, I like what I'm seeing from Dallas this year. Re-signing RoboCop Jason Robertson is huge. He's a young stud. He had a breakout year last year. Ottinger's a brick wall in between the pipes. I mean, we saw it in the playoffs last year. That guy was just inhumane. I mean, he was standing on his absolute dome each night, and having him for a full year is going to be a real special. Scotty Wedgwood, very solid backup. I know we were talking about the D. That can be a concern, but you know what the answer is for their defense?
I know what you're gonna say right now.
Ryan Shea.
Yeah. That's good.
Dude, give him a shot.
Yo, it's a good sign that they're going real young defensively because say Ryan Suter decides to hang him up or like just gets hurt. There's gonna be somebody getting hurt in this D core. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think like if anything like there's some guy named Thomas Harley. I think he did play for the Texas Stars last year if I'm not mistaken. So like maybe he doesn't play well or Colin Miller doesn't play well like on that third pair, the 5 and 6 defensemen, and maybe Shazo cracks the roster.
Bob with the Apple Watch, he's getting the inside. Oh yeah,
we'll
he's
see.
like, oh, this kid Thomas Harley. Like who?
I mean, I gotta play the party. I gotta play the part, dude. I'm trying to crack in.
Yeah,
so.
Bob's over here with his Twitter sources.
Ryan Suter's a fossil. Get him out of there.
Right.
Give a guy like Shazo a shot. I mean, he was a black ace last year, so you know that they consider him NHL potential. I wouldn't be surprised we see him at some point this year. That'd be unreal.
Yeah, that'd be big.
Yeah. I got Dallas in the playoffs this year. What about you boys?
Yeah, I got him in there.
It's tough. It's tough because you got like the Wild. Was there 4 teams that make it? So you got the Blues, Wild, Predators, Lanch.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see because that's a tough division, man. Because you got
Yeah.
Avalanche running away with it, no doubt. They got a spot. Wild, like they're up and coming, big time. Blues, like I don't see it. I like them though.
It's a tough division. Like I was saying, very competitive division. That's why I had Winnipeg out of the playoff picture. I got Nashville in there. I got Dallas in there. One of the top 3 about to talk about, I don't see making the playoffs this year. Why don't we move on? St. Louis, the Blues, they were 3rd place in this division last year, 109 points. They beat Minnesota in the first round and then lost to the Avs in 6 in the second round. Some new faces they added this year is Nola Chari, Martin Furyk, Matthew Highmore, Josh Levo, and Thomas Greiss. Departures, they got rid of David Perron. That's a big one. Ville Husso and Charlie Lindgren. They did re-sign their young studs, Jordan Kyrou, 8 years, $8 million, and Robert Thomas, also 8 years, $8 million. And they also locked up Nathan Walker for another year, Nick Leddy, and a couple other guys. What's your boys' thoughts on St. Louis?
I'll let Vinny go because this is his team.
The Blues. Vinny loves his Blues. Or he did last year, at least.
No. Well, so I do like the Nola Chari edition. I hate that they got rid of Husso and they decided to hitch their wagon to Bennington because I think Husso's the better all-around goalie. Bennington had that one huge run with the that year that they beat the Bruins, which is fine. But like when you look at the goalie situation, Thomas Greiss, he's a cone, dude. And that I unless you're like banking on one of these 2000 like kids, these like 20-year-olds, Hoffer or Ellis, We'll see. I mean, Grice is probably going to be backup, but not a good one, I don't think. They stayed pretty solid, like the same way on D. Like they didn't really like get rid of anybody, unless they did. Did they? No, I didn't think so. The way I'm looking at it right now, but I saw something. Tarasenko said he doesn't want to play for the Blues. Is that recently? I saw something when I was looking online earlier. I couldn't tell if it was like he said it before.
You never know with him. He's always just like
you lose Tarasenko, he's a fucking weapon, dude. I mean, you pretty much bring the same guys back. Like I like Buchnevich. That was a good addition last year. But obviously, they still kind of have the core from that year that they won it, except Pietrangelo. But like they could be battling with the Preds for that final spot because the Preds got the goalie. They got the goaltending. I don't know about the Blues.
Yeah, I agree. I really don't. This is probably like the one team I really don't see in the Central making the playoffs, just because like the whole goalie situation. Like Binnington isn't like really he's won a Stanley Cup, but he's not really like he has an awful track record in the regular season.
He could have been one of those guys that just got hot.
Yeah,
for a half year.
I mean, he looked good in the playoffs until he got hurt last year. But like, what if Binner goes down? Like you got to rely on Thomas Greiss to get you to the playoffs.
Yeah, he stinks.
And I mean, yeah, they do have a solid decor on the other hand, but goaltending is such an imperative position in the league. You have to have a solid 1-2 punch to even sniff the playoffs. And I don't know, like I looking at this forward core right now, like Ryan O'Reilly's getting a little older. Tarasenko, like you said, Vinny, does he want to play? Is he even interested? Is his head even going to be there? Pavel Buchnevich is hit or miss. The third line, Jake Neighbors is a young stud. Braden Chenzo up there, he's just a fiery guy. Barbashev, whatever. But like, I mean, like the front side and the decor is like pretty solid in my opinion to make a playoff run or just to make the playoffs. But goalie wise, I don't know. Honestly, I think the goalie situation might keep him out of the playoffs.
I guess if you want to hang your hat on anything, it's Greg Berube, the coach, because he's a hell of a coach, and he can get the guys play for him. Seems like they haven't tuned him out yet, but eventually that happens, I'm sure. But
yeah, that's the one team that I don't think is good.
Was Logan Brown a night guy? Was he on the Vegas? Was he on Vegas? Was he in addition to? Unless he might not have been.
Nah, he's been on the team.
Yeah. Oh, has he? Okay, I must be thinking of somebody else then.
Yeah, I think losing David Perron definitely a big loss. But looking back at last year, the St. Louis Blues had the most double-digit goal scorers in the league last year. They had like nearly 20 guys who put up double-digit goals. So it's not like they rely on the top line for their production. They get production 1 through 4. Every line's producing for them. Defensively, they're one of the most sound teams in the league. I know you look at goaltending. Yeah, letting Husso go is tough, but they must have a lot of trust in Binnington to let Husso walk like that. Binner, Stanley Cup winner. Yeah, his track record in the regular season isn't great, but I know they're kind of putting a lot on his shoulders this year, but I think he's up for the task. Husso was trash in the playoffs last year. I think that's part of the reason why they let him go. Husso, regular season, was the guy. Binner took over in the playoffs because that's just what he does.
Well, yeah.
Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas, I don't think these guys are talked about enough. They had breakout seasons last year, but both of these guys are, I think, potential stars in this league. Kyrou is one of the fastest guys I've ever seen, and Rob Thomas just has a knack for putting the puck in the back of the net. Those two guys, I think, take a big step this year. I got the Blues back in the playoffs. I like the Blues.
Yeah, Kyrou is nasty. He just signed for like 8 years too.
He has some high. You guys listening, just go into YouTube and type in Jordan Kyrou highlights. He is filthy.
Yeah,
like some of the stuff he doing in an NHL game, you're like, how don't I know about this guy? It's
he won fastest skater.
Yeah, that and like he has some like crazy goals he scores.
Yeah, faster than McDavid. He beat out McDavid.
Like Kyrou, I could see it like be a future captain, or even with Robert Thomas too. Like those guys are studs, and you're right. Yeah, like legit studs. Their defense, they still have really good D. I mean, they're all like old. Some of them are old, but like they got a good mix of some young guys coming up. They gotta have faith in one of these young guys, Colton Ellis or Joel Hofer. Like they're both born in 2000. to like maybe come up and fill that backup spot because Grice, there's no way they're planning on keeping him after this year.
I mean, Lord willing, if Bitter stays healthy, like obviously they're gonna be in the playoffs, but like if he goes down, like he always gets hurt, he's hurt like every year. So if Thomas Grice is the one at the helmet in the cage for them, there might be a little bit of a panic to even get into the playoffs, in my opinion.
I agree with that, Bob. The Blues are one injury away with Binnington from being probably a bottom feeder in this division, but I'm going all in with the Blues this year. I like them.
Yeah, I like them too. I just look at the Predators and I'm like, oh, they got the goaltender in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tough division.
Yeah,
It's probably one of the deepest divisions in the NHL.
Yeah, it's super competitive.
I ride with my Blues, but it's tough.
All right, we got the top two teams in this division left to go. Minnesota Wild, they were second place in the division with 113 points last year. They did have a first-round exit, though, losing to St. Louis in 6 games. The arrivals they had this offseason were Sammy Steele and goaltender Philip Gustafsson. They lost Nick Bustad, Nicholas Delorier, Kevin Fiala, Jordy Ben, Dmitry Kulikov, and goalie Cam Talbot. What's your boys' thoughts on Minnesota heading into the year? The Billy G boys.
Billy G boys. Yeah, the Wild are shooing, in my opinion. They got Flower back, like Gustafsson back up. That's a good 1-2 punch right there. Gustafsson's a promising goaltender. Got Kaprizov, Hartman, Zuccarello in the first line, Greenway, Eriksson X gonna have a big year this year. Mark my words, he's gonna have an even bigger year than he did last year. Marcus Foligno, absolute beast. They got the better Foligno. Matt Boldy, hometown boy, he's a hell of a player. Gaudreau's good. Tyson Yost, he's a former Avs player. He's a solid third liner. Like they have so many good guys up front. Defense is solid. Jacob Middleton had a good year last year. Jared Spurgeon, their captain. Jonas Brodin's a good defenseman. Matt Dumba, Goligoski, and Kalen Addison. He hasn't really proven himself, but I think he's gonna rise to stardom this year as well. I think this whole team right here is gonna, because I know last year they were first round exit, but what are you gonna do? You know, you can't expect to be playoff ready. Like these guys that have more experience going into next year.
I like the Wild. It just depends like how Fleury plays, I think, really. Like they got this other kid, Gustafsson, who's kind of like, I guess, unproven a little bit. It seems like they're just trying to like not throw the kid in the fire, you know what I mean? He's
supposed to be really good.
Yeah, he's a young kid. Keep him backed up. Learn from Fleury. But I guess like why else would they have a Marc-Andre Fleury if they're not going to make a run? You know, they're pretty young. Like Spurgeon, captain, good. Dumba, he's good too. But I mean, like, when is the boy Kirill Kaprizov gonna get some captaincy here? I think he's the best player, and probably, I mean, he might not speak great English, but
you don't have to be the best player to have to see,
I agree, but
it's about leadership,
dude. An A. I'm not saying captain, but I think he deserves an A, at least. I like their roster. It's solid, but we'll see. I didn't like how they got rid of Fiala.
They had to. You see, dude, he didn't produce 1 point in the playoffs.
He's better.
He doesn't show up.
I think he's better than Yost. I think he's better than.
I don't know. Yost has a pretty good.
I think he's better than that kid Duheim too. But
have you watched the Wild play?
What?
No, these players are solid.
Yeah, no, they're good, but I don't know. I'm not sold on the Wild.
All right, you have your opinion.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Honestly, this is my hot take of the preseason. Wild, no playoffs this year.
Yeah,
I'm out on the Wild. Dude, they didn't do shit this offseason. They signed Sammy Steele. That was their big offseason accusation.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, but they couldn't do anything because they had to buy out Zach Parise and Ryan Suter a couple years ago. They have no cap space. They fucked themselves for the future. I think it's finally catching up with them. They do have a good young core, but looking at some of the guys they had to let go, those are some big losses. Fiala didn't show up in the playoffs, but regular season put up a lot of points. Jordy Ben's a vet. Kulikov, Delorier, Bustad. Like, dude, those are vets, and they let them all go. Marc-Andre Fleury, love him. One of my favorite goaltenders of all time. He's nearing 40, and they're going all in with Marc-Andre Fleury. It's going to be his show this year. look at his numbers the past few years, they've been going down. He's not the goaltender he used to be. If they expect him to play 60 games this year, I don't know if he's up for it. I mean, he's getting old. I'm not sold on the Wild. That's my hot take.
Yeah.
They on paper they have a great team, a lot of talent. With this division, I don't think they get in. I don't think they get in.
I don't know, dude. They're pretty deep in the forward core, and their defense is like it isn't like solid, but like it'll get them by. You know what I mean?
But
like,
they don't have a lot of defense either. It's a 1-2. Dude, they have 6
the Minnesota
defensemen.
Wild. All right, so I'll give you this: the Minnesota Wild have like probably like the best farm systems in the league. They have so many like talented players. Like this kid Brandon Duhaime came up last year out of the system, and Marco Rossi as well. And like their whole entire fourth line here, you got Duhaime, Rossi, and Dewar. I watched them play, and I've seen a lot of things about like the whole like they had a huge entire thing about how the Wild farm system is like impeccable, and I've seen these guys play last year. They're promising players. They're rookies last year. They're gonna come in and have a bigger role. Trust me. Like I don't know, dude.
No, I'm not questioning their forwards. Their forwards it's fine, but their defense, they don't have a guy over 6. Well, a 6 over 6'3". You know, like you need a guy. You need a man out there like 6'5", like holding it down. Seems like
it's all about gap control at the end of the day.
Yeah,
though, if you can play the position.
But you got to be physical though too. You can't just have a bunch of like Torrey Krug's out there.
I don't know. They're pretty physical.
They got a 5. They got 5'9" Jared Spurgeon, a 5'11" Goligoski, 6 feet Matt Dumba. Those guys are getting bullied in the playoffs. I'm sorry, I don't care how old you are.
We're talking about making the playoffs.
Yeah, no, but if you get in, well, okay, but
my argument's getting in the playoffs.
Getting, but like I'm saying they're not built. I don't think they're built enough for it.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not in on the Wild this year. I mean, it could be a big swing and a miss. Could be a terrible take. Bob, you might be right about the farm system. Maybe that's why they didn't make many moves this offseason.
Trust me, they're deep on the farm system.
Some of those guys are unproven, and they lost some veterans. So, and those guys are gonna have big shoes to fill. I don't know. I'm just something about it just says that the Wild aren't going to be as competitive as a lot of people think they are.
I agree.
We'll see. Time will tell. All right. Lastly, the division champs from last year, the Stanley Cup champs, the Colorado Avalanche. They had 119 points, won the Cup for the first time in 20 years, beating the back-to-back champs, Tampa Bay Lightning, in 6 games. They had a busy offseason. They added Anton Blythe, Evan Rodriguez, Brad Hunt, Alexander Georgiev, and Jonas Johansson. They lost a handful of guys, though. Nicholas Abu-Kubel, Andre Burakovsky, Nazem Kadri, Nico Sturm, Jack Johnson, Ryan Murray, and Darcy Kemper all left town. They did manage to re-sign a decent amount of their core from last year, including Andrew Cogliano, Darren Helm, Arturi Lehkonen, Nate McKinnon, who they signed for 8 years, $12.5 million. Sheesh. And Valerie Nichushkin, 8 years, $6 million, and Josh Manson, 4 years, $4.5 million. What do we think of the defending champs, Colorado Avs, as they head into the season?
I like them a lot. They have such a high percentage of repeating this year. Because like the whole goaltending thing when they got Georgiev, I think they upgraded in their goaltending. Yep. Big time. Defense, solid. Literally the same exact defense they had last year. Solid ass core. Taves, McCarr, Byram, Manson. Manson was a huge surprise. I mean, like I liked him like before, like he got dealt over from the Ducks, but he was so solid for them in that playoff run.
Who's Charles good. Manson?
With Devin Taves and Cale McCarr, that decoy is nasty.
So nasty. And then Samuel Girard, Eric Johnson, obviously Landeskog, McKinnon, Stukson played unbelievable. Lehkonen, Comfer, and like dude, I can go on. Like this whole entire roster is so stacked, and they added Evan Rodriguez is on their fourth line, dude. Like,
yeah, that's a sneaky ad.
Dude, the fact that he's a fourth liner is like insane because he was like a second, third liner on the Penguins last year. So, dude, this team is literally like gearing up for a repeat, in my opinion.
The Avs, barring no injury, they're coming back and they are hungry. Anton Bleed, like he used to be a Bruin. He, body. He's like a third, fourth liner, go in the corners and get the puck for you. Evan Rodriguez, nasty. Love that pickup. Just extra scoring, more points for the third, fourth line. They didn't really have to do much because they have, other than like sign their best player to like 10 years, like $12.5 million. Mr. Nathan McKinnon, Nate Dogg. They just drafted so well. You just look at this team,
Yeah.
and then they pick up a seasoned vet named Darren Helm last year, and he's just showing the boys what it takes. You know,
Yeah.
even though they have Landeskog like the captain, but Darren Helm, they might as well slap the C on his chest. You know, he's leading the boys. They're even though they lost defense, they still have defense up the ass. Josh Manson, Taves, Eric Johnson still on the back end, but you know, when you paired up like Kale McCarr, like doesn't matter anymore. You know, Bowen Byram, that kid's up and coming, already a stud, has a cup under his belt. I love the Gorgiev. That kid's got a chip on his shoulder, I bet, backing up Shesterkin. Like, oh, I didn't get a shot. Now he's got a shot with an absolutely loaded cup running team.
Yeah, Avs are absolutely still a wagon. They're loaded. They make the playoffs, absolutely. I think they win this division again, but I don't think they go back to back. I just think it's so hard to go back to back in this league. It's such a competitive league. I know McKinnon came out and said, you know, they're not satisfied with one, they're going for another. I don't know. I just think there's some teams that can take them out, and they're gonna have a big target on their back. Georgiev's a question mark for me. The defense is so stacked that he might not have to do much, kind of like Darcy Kemper last year, but Gorgiev's kind of unproven. He's been a solidified backup for majority of his career. The team's still stacked, though. They have a very good chance of repeating. I just think somewhere down the road, you know, Eastern Conference Finals, second round, I think someone's going to take them out. But, I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd probably put my money on the Avs, but I just think someone else is going to take it this year. But Avs for sure, a wagon. They're reloading up, and they're going to be, a fun team to watch once again, as much as I hate them.
Yeah, just don't overshadow, though, Francouz, our boy Francouz.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he played well when he needed to last year. He stepped up.
He was the best goaltender they had, and they didn't even play him.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be easy by any means taking this team down, but I just think someone's going to do it. Someone's going to. It's so hard to repeat in this league.
Yeah, you run into like a Blues or whatever in the second round, you know. It's like it's still like the division. Or no, they don't play. Yeah, it's still the division. So like they hate each other, and they'll do whatever it takes, you know. You run into a hot goalie, run into a team that hates your guts.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily win the President's Trophy this year. They're that good. They could put up 120 plus points. They're loaded. I think they're a shoe-in for this division, but yeah, playoffs is a different story. They lost some of the vets, some of the big guys that got them there, but we'll see. They're going to be fun to watch. All right, why don't we move on to the Pacific Division? Last year's bottom feed in the Pacific was the Seattle Kraken. They had 60 points in their first season in franchise history. They did add some guys this offseason: Andre Burakovsky, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Justin Schultz, Michael Kempney, and Martin Jones. And they parted ways with Riley Sheehan and Hayden Fleury. Boys, what do you think of the Kraken? Second year as a franchise.
They're still going to be like in the bottom of the division, just because like they're still figuring out, developing players and everything. I'm pretty sure Matty Beniers is going to be playing this year, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can watch him, see how he does. Local guy from Hingham, so I'm actually pretty excited to see him play. But yeah, I think there's could be a couple of years until there's gonna be playoffs in Seattle.
I mean, it's only up for them. Like they're not really expected to do it. Like, you know, their expansion team, unless you're like hit the lottery like Vegas did, where they shortened like the amount of players you could take back then. But like the next year they were like, oh yeah, you can't take as many players off of other rosters, or like, you know what I mean? So they definitely got derailed the next time, but they have enough. They're just gaining momentum, I think. They have a lot of young guys. I think they might be the youngest team in the league, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah, because they got an 04 and Shane Wright. He might be the youngest kid in the league. Which he's going to be really fucking good. Which I can't believe he's a Kraken, and the kid should be a good Canadian kid and be on the fucking Canadians. I digress. But yeah, no, they got Andre Burakovsky. I like him. He's not old. He's in his prime. You got guys like Eberle leading the squad. Yanni Gord. Is Giordano the captain there? No, he's gone, isn't he? He's gone.
Giordano is.
Yeah, is
he's
he
gone.
retired?
Yeah.
Or,
He's with the Leafs.
Oh, is he with
Yeah.
the? Oh, yeah, they got rid of him. I
Yeah.
forgot. Jesus, they don't have a captain. They have like 4 assistant captains or alternate captains for IC. I mean, they're nothing to really expect from them. I don't expect them at the playoffs. I think they're gonna be better though. They got a solid decor. I like the guys I see on their decor. It's just see if Shane Wright's going to be a candidate for that Calder this year. I think they're going to give him a real shot. Probably like second, third line. Probably not first. Who knows? Because Matty Beniers, who knows? Like they're very much a question mark to me. They could be really good or they could be really bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Snipsky. Big question mark with this team. Matty Beniers' first full season and Shane Wright. That's going to be fun to watch.
Right.
They didn't have the big success like Vegas did in their first season, but I mean they changed up the way that the draft went, so I mean that didn't help them. But this team's built for the future. Like I think you're right. I think they are the youngest team in the league. They'll be a fun team to watch this year.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think they're going to be the most improved team from last year. I see them like middle. Of
I like it. I like what I see here when I'm looking at it. I haven't seen them play yet in the preseason, but.
They might scare a playoff spot, but I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. But
they could be like last year's Wings potentially.
Yeah, playoffs might be a long shot. I was kind of thinking it too. It's a hot take, but I think they're gonna be good. I think they're gonna be competitive. I'm surprised, or I'm excited to see what Beniers is gonna do. And Shane Wright, man, he's got to have a chip on his shoulder after the Canadians hosed him on the first pick.
So apparently, the reason why he didn't go first overall to the Canadians is because I guess he's just like cocky, like that he has like the persona to him where he's like he's like the main guy in the locker room, like he's just like, you know what I mean, like they didn't think he's gonna be like leadership material, whatever, like, and that's why they went with that that other dude.
Breaking NHL news.
Yeah, and that guy's been a bust. Slavkovsky, I heard he sucked this preseason.
I said that, dude. The kid, I watched him twice play. The kid's not good. He's not.
Yeah, the coach even came out and said, yeah, he's been underwhelming this year.
I will say, I don't think it was a Marty St. Louis pick.
No way.
It was not. Dude, he's a forward. He knows forwards. That's my thing. Like, and he would have picked Shane Wright if he had to say, because the kid can play. He already has a couple points in a couple preseason games. Shane Wright. This kid, Yaroslavsky, dude. He looks lost, man. I've been watching. I watched a couple games. Oh my God, he might get sent down. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
like,
I think the Canadians went for the bait.
Why? He's not. He doesn't fit the prototype. Like, he
had a good juniors. He had a good World Junior showing. But he's playing against 17-year-olds. So
yeah, and I mean,
different when you're playing against grown men.
He's bigger than everyone, but that doesn't it doesn't translate to this year to like hockey now. You got to be fast, more open space. The tough guys, they don't translate like they used to, you know.
Yeah, I think that Slavkovsky kid was built to play in like the 80s, like big body, power forward type of guy. But Shane Wright's built for now. He could be the next McDavid.
Yeah, I love the roster he's playing with. He could be the alpha male on this roster. Like
the young team. Yeah, someone's got to step up in that locker room. It damn well could be him. I think Kraken are going to be surprised. And they got Bowie the troll.
Yeah, Bowie the Deadler.
I'll say this. This is what I think. If you see the Seattle Kraken are playing the Montreal Canadiens, put in a prop bet for Shane Wright 1 goal at least, because he's pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed. When me and Vinny were doing beers at like Beer League one night, and we were like keeping track of like the draft, and like the amount of times we were just like checking on our phone, like, did Shane Wright go yet? Are you kidding me? Like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, dude, there's so many teams that like what, he dropped the 4 to the Kraken? Like, dude, that was insane.
I think the Devils passed.
Canadians, Devils, and
was it who?
Yotes?
Yeah, maybe the Yotes.
Yeah, Yotes went Cooley.
Yeah, dude, he dodged a bullet. Imagine he went to the Yotes. Oh my God.
Couldn't believe it. Once I saw Uri, whatever, I'm like,
He can't even. I can't even pronounce his last
name.
name.
That kid is not. Yeah, he's not it. They dropped the ball.
I think the Canadians field the fire and Shane Wright. I think he goes off this year, and I would put my money on him to win the Calder Trophy right now.
It could be a blessing. It could be a blessing in disguise. Like, look at this team, the Kraken roster. There's no solidified spots here. There's not like, oh, this is the first line. Dude, that could be their first line center.
They're way better built than the Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Canadians
yeah.
are garbage.
That's fair to say. That's fair.
I mean, honestly, Yanni Gourde might be their first line center, but it's
he's
wide
bad.
open. It's wide open.
No, Yanni Gourde's projected third line center.
Oh, is
Grubauer is not a bad goalie either.
He just needs to get back on.
I like Grubauer.
Yeah. Grubauer has he has the talent. He just needs to get back into form.
In their backup Drieger, not horrible either.
Martin Jones is their third guy.
Oh, he stinks.
Yeah, but
they grabbed Jones.
He stinks.
I mean, he's not like a bad guy to be in the locker room though. He's a
dude.
veteran.
Adding Bjorkstrand and Burakovsky,
Yep.
couple big pickups, low key.
Yeah, I like
Burakovsky fresh off a cup, and Bjorkstrand's good.
Yeah, he was
surprised Columbus let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those fantasy hockey pickups off the waiver wire.
Jared McCann's good too. Did you mention Jared McCann? He played for he used to play for the Pens.
Yeah, for the Pens.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Tanev for grit. And then another guy I want to mention, Morgan Geekie. He was a second round pick.
Yep.
Second round pick, but he was supposed to be a first round pick, from what I was hearing. There was major hype on him.
I'm in on the Kraken this year, dude. Call me a crackhead.
Yeah, we're crackheads.
I'm a crackhead.
We're a crackhead pod.
Wait,
a lot of crack around here.
Crackhead as in Seattle Kraken, or just a crackhead? Because I'm just a crackhead.
Yo, everyone's gonna see me in the dumpster doing crack with Boo the Diddler.
That's where I'm going when I leave. Hedgebed.
Yeah, Bowie.
When I leave Hedgebed, I'm walking outside. Bob's gonna be like, "Yeah, see you later." I'm just gonna go in the dumpster.
Yeah, Bowie's waiting for me. We'll split some crack.
Smoking crack.
I'm down to get on a crack binge.
It's been too long, dude.
Wait, are you foreshadowing for that gambling corner?
Oh, maybe. All right, why don't we move on? We got the Anaheim Ducks. They were 7th place in the division, 76 points. They added Ryan Strome, Frankie V, Frank Vetrano, John Klingberg, Dmitry Kulikov, and parted ways with Ryan Getzlaf to retirement, Sonny Milano, and Sammy Steele. What's your boys' thoughts on the Dukes this year?
Yeah, I'm out on the Ducks. They got some young firepower, but I don't see it. Johnny Gibson's in his prime. He's getting screwed with this decoys being put up with. John Moore, Euro Vakanainen, Shaddy, he's all done. Klingberg's done. They do have a couple good defensemen, though, Drysdale and Fowler, I think. When I saw John Moore on this roster, I was like, toast. But Seager's got decked the other night. I don't know if he's
buried.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, keep your head up, bro. You got the cover NHL. You might as well take a business decision and maybe just pass the puck. Yeah, they just I don't like them.
Yeah, so my stance on it is they're not going to make the playoffs. Troy Terry, they have a lot of good guys up front that can put the puck in there. You got Troy Terry, he was on fire last year. Frank Vetrano was a heavy shot. Mason McTavish is supposed to have a hell of a career, so let's see if that even pans out. He did look really good in his junior days. Trevor Zegras, the NHL's been shoving him down our throat for the past 2 years. Let's see if he actually lives up to the hype and leads a team. And then Coco Cumrag. They got him on the left wing.
He's decent.
Yeah, he's not bad. No, I just love calling him that because I don't know. It's a little inside joke for me and Coco, but in the decoy, definitely lacking. Cam Fowler's getting older. Klingberg stinks now. Vakanainen's okay. Drysdale, young stud, whatever. Shattuce is back there, but John Gibson's a really good goaltender. He's gonna keep him on a lot of games, but Stolarz isn't bad either. You can't knock off Stolarz, but I don't think they're a playoff team this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't even think they're close to playoffs. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised they finished bottom of the division. The offseason moves are kind of questionable in my opinion. Adding Ryan Strome, Frank Vetrano, those are, role guys, like plug guys, third or fourth line. Klingberg, 1 year, $7 million. I think they overpaid him big time.
That's insane. $7 million for 1 year.
Yeah, that's a big cap hit.
That's
Mason
insane.
McTavish, I think he's going to make a big impact. There's been a lot of hype around him. He's looked good in the World Juniors. I think he's going to be a young stud. Zegras might be cursed after being on the cover of NHL. He already took that big hit in the preseason. I don't think there's been an update on the status of his injury. But, I think the future's bright for the Ducks, though. They're an up-and-coming team for sure. I just don't see them that competitive this year. They lack veteran leadership. And Coach Dallas Eakins, he's on the hot seat big time. The Ducks finished last season 14, 28, and 9 in their last 50 games. That's terrible.
Someone's on the hot seat. When I looked and saw Dallas Eakins, I'm like, wait, he's the coach? You know what I mean? Like, someone's on the hot seat when you're like, wait a minute, that guy's a coach? Because he had a decent career, I guess, but I guess he stinks at coaching. Doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, they should be a lot better than I think they are. They're built for the future. They're not built to compete now. Out on the Ducks,
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to be very
the
good.
The Klingberg signing seems like, we shouldn't have got rid of Krampus Lindholm. Kind of thing.
I think they panicked.
Yeah, it seems like they're like, damn, we shouldn't have traded him. Let's get a Walmart version of Hampus Lindholm, pretty much.
Krampus.
Yeah.
All right, next in this division, we got the San Jose Sharks. They finished 6th last year with 77 points. They had a couple new arrivals, including Luke Kunin, Oscar Lindblom, Nico Sturm, Evgeny Sveshnikov, Matthew Benning. They did lose a couple guys who honestly I haven't really heard of: Lane Peterson, Rudolph Balkers, John Leonard, Brent Burns. That's a big loss, and Aiden Hill. Boys, what's the thoughts on the Sharks this year?
I don't know. Like, they're one of those teams that you don't know what you're gonna get from. Like David Quinn, first year as a coach for them. They got Timo Meier, Hurdle. Those are two really good players. Logan Couture, obviously, he's a little older now, but he can play. They got Oscar Lindblom, like the kid that played over at the Flyers, cancer survivor. He's a good player. Nico Sturm, decent, but Erik Karlsson's is on his back nine for sure. And dude, and like their D-core is fucking trash.
He's in the clubhouse.
Dude, their D-core is trash. Like Mark-Edward Vlasic, he's all done too. I think he's definitely like on the 18th hole. James Reimer in that, like, God bless. I don't know, like, you don't know what you're gonna get from this, like, from this court forward right here. So whatever, like, they do have a lot of veterans and a lot of good players, but at the end of the day, like, that you have no defense and no goalie. Like, there's no playoffs in their future.
Yeah, my iPad's acting up, but anyway, so
too many viruses.
Yeah, no, it just like froze. I had the roster up.
Not again.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's
Singles near you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry, boys. Had too much fun before the pod. Anyway, so yeah, no, I just don't. You like Bob said, you don't know what to expect from these guys. San Jose, but they did get a new GM, Mike Guerrero, so. They might be selling. Like he might be just getting like keeping the same team out there, and then or like they added some guys, like maybe you said, but I don't see anything huge because he's probably like, all right, I'm gonna get everybody in here and see what I got, and if it's not good, probably see you later. I like the Luke Kunin addition though. He played well for Nashville. I don't know if that's a Greer move or not. Like, Nick Bonino's still out there skating around, like, I don't know about having him out there. Maybe they're just like, all right, like, we need some leadership out there. A lot of young guys. We'll see. Timo Meier, he's got to carry this team, I think, on the offensive end. They don't look great offensively. Him and Couture. And then Hurdle, that's a big first line, I guess. But other than that, I don't know. They got Aaron Dell, your boy Coco, so I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, they added a lot of grit. I'll give them that. Luke Kunin, Nico Sturm. They definitely got a little grittier over the offseason. It's always tough, though, when you lose a franchise icon like Brent Burns. I mean, he's been in San Jose forever. Finally decided to move on, maybe win a cup on his back nine here. The Sharks are just a very mediocre team. Like, they're not good, but they're not bad. Like, I think they're just gonna be middle of the pack. Like they'll win some games, they'll surprise you here and there, and then they'll lose some games that they probably should have won. Definitely don't see them in the playoffs, but wouldn't be surprised if they're a bit competitive. Giving teams a hard time. I think they'll be a frisky team for sure, but they're just too mediocre. They don't have many stars.
Coyotes plus 220. Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, exactly. Right. I would take Yotes plus 220 against the Sharks, and then I would go on the other end and take Sharks plus 200 against like fucking, I don't know, like Calgary or something.
Yeah.
Like they'll surprise you.
Yeah, all the teams that get overlooked, they bite you in the ankle. That's what happens.
Yep. Yeah. They're a team who's gonna be biting ankles for sure. Like Sharks do.
Yeah, right.
Take off your whole fucking leg.
All done. Oh, the Campbell thing. He's the Minnesota guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was the backup last year.
What is it? High hopes for him, I'm sure. There's no way Aaron Dell is seeing the ice unless one of these guys crap themselves.
No, Aaron Dell's dog.
Yeah, he is absolutely trash. That was like probably like one of the high points of the year when we were watching him play. That shit was hilarious. And
they still have Mark Edward Vlasic retirement home.
Yeah, he's on the 18th hole. He's probably putting for birdie on 18 right now.
He's a scratch handicap at this point.
He might be at the 19th hole, not even at 18.
Trying to look for the 20th. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's just doing beers in the clubhouse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just hanging around.
He's drinking John Daly. He's trying to find the 20th hole, trying to wheel some chicks.
Yeah, I know he gets paid a lot. I don't know why they have him still. I mean, they're not expected to do much, but.
All right, next up we got the Vancouver Canucks up next. They had 92 points last year. That was honestly surprising to me. I thought they were a lot worse. They finished in 5th place. They added a couple new faces: Ilya Mikheyev, Curtis Lazar, Colin Delia. They parted ways with Matthew Highmore, Alex Chason, Brad Hunt, and Yaroslav Halak. They did re-sign JT Miller for 7 years, $8 million. Brock Besser, 3 years, $6.5 million. What's your boys' thoughts on the Nucks? I think this is a team you could go either way with this year.
I got them making the playoffs. Last year they should have made the playoffs. It was just they had a lack of production with Elias Pettersson, but I think he's gonna be back on the horse this year. I think he's gonna have a big year. Obviously, Brock Besser, JT Miller, Bo Horvat. They have so much potential. Quinn Hughes back there. Thatcher Demko, he's a top Vezina guy every year. You can't go wrong with picking this team making the playoffs or just even making a playoff run. Anyways, what do you think, Vinny?
I like the Nucks. They're one of those teams that underachieved last year. That I think they should have made the playoffs, but they hit a rough patch. Early, like midway of the season, they just couldn't recover.
They were slow out the gates.
Yeah, which is like, they might not be tough. They weren't tough enough last year. I mean, they got Lazar.
Maybe that's a good pickup for depth.
That's
a good
what I'm
depth
saying.
pick.
I was gonna say like 3rd, 4th line guy.
Mikheyev, he's a grinder.
Yeah, Mikheyev, he was a Leaf. Maybe they shouldn't have got rid of him. We'll see. When I see a guy switching teams from the Leafs, I'm like, I don't know. Because that's just the stink just is still on you.
Yeah, but the thing is, dude, like
they reek.
The thing is, the Leafs love getting rid of guys that just like go another team and just play nasty. Like Frederick Anderson, he was like so his whole entire career with them. Then he goes to Carolina and just like rips it up. You know what I mean? It's just so
steady
funny.
Freddy.
Yeah, steady Freddy. If they get off to a hot start, I can see it. Like I'm looking at their goaltending. Thatcher Demko, great goalie. Like when he's on, have you ever seen him when he's on? But like then they got Spencer Martin, like his backup. Is he any good? Can he like actually fill in and be the guy? Like I've never heard of him.
Who?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Spencer Martin. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like you only have 2 goalies in your
Spencer
roster.
Martin sounds like a created player.
Yeah, I mean they're about they're the same age. I think he's older. It looks like Spencer Martin, but I'm like, what happens if Demko goes down with whatever, low body, upper body? Who knows? What are you gonna do?
He was hurt last year too.
Yeah,
so.
what are you gonna do with that? Like, I like their roster all around, but they have a slow start. All done.
Yeah, no, the Nucks definitely were disappointing last year for sure. They stumbled out of the gates, and then they started to pick it up when they switched over to Bruce. There it is as
Bruce.
the head coach.
Maybe.
So Bruce Boudreau, first full season with Vancouver, definitely interested to see what he can do. Now that he's had a full off season to kind of prepare. The Nucks, I feel like this team's been rebuilding for like 10 years. Like ever since they lost in the cup to the fucking Bruins, this team's been like rebuilding.
Oh, dude, we kicked him right in the nuts when we won that one.
I love seeing that they locked up JT Miller and Brock Besser because those guys, there was tons of talk last year that both those guys were about to pack their shit and be dished somewhere else. So I think they kind of said, you know what, fuck it. These are our guys. We're sticking with them and we're going to compete. I'm in on the Nucks this year. I think they get in the playoffs. They worry me a little bit because they're weak defensively. Looking at that decor, it's not great. Demko can stand on his head and steal you some games, just not every night. But I believe in Bruce here. I'm going Nucks in the playoffs. I like what I see from the Nucks coming into the season.
Yeah, like all the good teams, a real big problem is the good teams have two solid goalies where they split time.
Yeah.
You don't want to run your guy into the ice, to put it that way. Goalies like maybe one of the hardest positions to play in all the sports, like especially how athletic you have to be night in and night out. Playing 41 games for a goalie, that's a lot of games, and that's split in the year. So
yeah, it's all about
dude, I think Demko's gonna have to play like up near 60 games this year if they want to be a playoff team, which is a shit ton.
Yeah,
but I think Demko's capable of like a Vezina type season. He's a solid goaltender.
He's been in the talks like the past 2 years. It's all about being sustainable. If you have sustainability, you're gonna be successful in that position.
He's a BC boy. He's an Eagle.
Yes, he is an Eagle. I know. Just they got to get him some help, man. They can't just be like, "Oh yeah, this is you for 60 games."
Yeah.
And then
Quinn Hughes got to step up. He's got to be better defensively. Great offensive defenseman, but he's got to tighten things up defensively. He's got to take more pride in that. And a couple other guys on that D line too that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson, he needs to step up. He had a bad year last year.
Yep. Who he used to be a stud. He's might be past his prime. Maybe he's got it in him still. But I believe in Bruce. I think he's got to come up with a good system. I think he's going to stress the importance of defense heading into the year.
Yeah,
I like the Canucks. All right, moving on. We've got the top four in this division. Next up's the Golden Knights, Vegas. They were fourth in the division last year, 94 points. Missed out on the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. They did add a couple guys this offseason. Phil the Thrill Kessel and goaltender Aiden Hill. They did lose a couple guys that are a little questionable. Max Pacioretty traded over to Carolina. Evgeny Dadonov traded to Montreal. And they did lose Matthias Janmark and Dylan Coughlin. They did re-sign Riley Smith, Nick Roy, and Keegan Colasar, as long as Brett Howden. Boys, what's your thoughts on Vegas? I think this is an interesting team this year.
I think they're going to be a dangerous team, man, especially with Bruce Cassidy at the helm. I think they're going to be dangerous. Projected first line, Marchessault, Eichel, and Stoner. That's a hell of a line. Second line, Kessel, William Karlsson, Riley Smith. And then you got Chandler Stevenson in this third line center, Nick Roy and Manninen. And then their fourth line's pretty good too. William Carrier, Brett Howden, and Keegan Colasar. Those guys will punch you in the mouth. And then obviously their decor is solid. Alec Martinez, Alex Pietrangelo, Braden McNabb, Shea Theodore, Nicholas Hagee, and Zach Whitecloud. But the only thing that everyone's talking about is the goaltending. But dude, Logan Thompson, I think is gonna have a breakout year this year. I think people are gonna know the name of Logan Thompson after this year. And Aiden Hill, I think he's gonna be a solid backup just in case. You know what I mean? Like take the load off and everything. I think the Knights are gonna have a pretty successful year.
Yeah, I agree. I think I went back last year. I had an early take last year. I'll call myself out saying the Knights are gonna make it the conference finals. Not even close. They didn't make the playoffs. So this year, I'm still on that wagon that they're gonna make conference finals. At least they didn't really miss a beat with their forwards or defensemen. It's really just their goaltending. I am a fan of Logan Thompson. I think he can be good. But who's gonna like? Is Logan Thompson gonna start, or are they still hard for like they pull their Schmenzer out for Lehner?
Lehner's out for the year.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's
done.
Oh,
Out for
okay.
season.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Hip surgery.
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't have him injured reserve here. They have Brousseau.
Trust me, no one has their wiener out for Robin Lehner.
Yeah. Brousseau's injured reserve. It says here. I don't know, unless
Logan Thompson's going to be the guy.
Yeah. I like the kid Brousseau too. He can play a little bit. I've never seen Aiden Hill play, but their defense is.
He was a Coyote goalie, right, Coco? I think he was a backup.
Yotes, and then he was on the Sharks last year.
Yeah.
He's had a shit deal. He's been dealt a shit hand. He's been on terrible teams.
Yeah, he's not a
It's
bad
tough to
goalie.
tell how good he is.
Exactly.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, if he can back up like Lehner, I think he's overrated.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, I seen him play and he stinks, and
Lehner
I think
sucks.
the reason why they weren't so good last year is because their goaltending was lacking, and
He gave up halfway through the year, too.
yeah, I mean, I like especially Bruce Cassidy behind the bench, like he's gonna have this stud decor. I don't think they're gonna even get that many shots on the goalie. Knights, yep, I'm still on the wagon. Conference finals, I'll say it now. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, then I was back and forth on the Knights a lot. Goaltending, huge question mark. You guys talked about it. Lehner's out for the season, even though he wasn't much to write home about anyways. Just going to be big to see who's going to start. It's going to be Logan Thompson. It's going to be Aiden Hill. It's going to be Brousseau. Bruce is in the building. I think it's a big test for Bruce Cassidy, and we're going to see how good of a coach he really is. He had a lot of success with Boston, but now he's got a new color system going with them with the Vegas Knights. But I'm looking at this team. I think they downgraded, unfortunately, losing someone like Pacioretty, Dadonov, Janmark, Coughlin. Those are some decent guys. You had Phil the Thrill of watching the guy play. He's electric, but I don't know how much he's going to help out. He's getting up there. I'm out on Vegas this year. This is my second hot take of the night. I'm out on Vegas. I don't see them making the playoffs. This is a tough division again. I want to see Bruce do well. I really do, but I don't know. Something about this roster I don't like. I'm not sold on Vegas this year. No Knights for me.
Did anybody watch?
Good night, Knights.
Anybody see some of the game the other night? I watched like the first period, but I forget who the goalie was. It was one of these guys. Got the puck from behind the net, turned around, like didn't go right up the boards with it like a goalie would. I think he might have been a lefty, or he might have. I'm sorry, I don't know. But like he ended up turning around and he left his net open and whipped it up ice, picked off, scores. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't.
tough.
One of the Vegas goalies?
Yeah, one of the because then I was it was like the other. I think they played the Ducks, and they showed Bruce, and Bruce was just like, what? Like he was like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It was, but like that's their biggest question mark, and he knows it.
I mean, there's a preseason for a reason. The fucking
Yeah, no, he looked and it was like that guy's not even close right now. You know what I mean? At that point,
He's probably a Henderson Knight, and he's like, yeah, you're staying there, bud.
I don't know. It probably was either Hutchinson or Hill. I want to guess.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see when you got a goaltending question mark and shit like that. And I don't know, something about it, something in my guts telling me that Vegas isn't going to be a playoff team this year. But again, it could be a swing and a miss. It's a hot take.
Yeah, they look good on paper from what I'm looking at.
They do.
Especially their decor is the thing that wins me over.
Yeah, their decor is filthy. Other than the Avalanche, they probably have like the best. Like it's probably them and the Avalanche have the best decor in the league.
A lot of unders.
All right, top three in this division. We got the LA Kings. They were third in the division last year, 99 points, lost in 7 games to Edmonton, who ended up going to the conference finals. They added Kevin Fiala on a 7-year deal worth $8 million. They did lose Dustin Brown to retirement, Oli Mata, and Andreas Athanasiou. They re-signed a couple big guys, Adrian Kempe, Kyle Grunstrom, Brendan Lemieux, Mikey Anderson, Alex Edler. What's your boys' thoughts on the Kings this year? LA, Hollywood.
Even you can go.
I'm a Kings guy. I like the Kings to make the playoffs this year. I mean, maybe Cal Peterson makes a big jump this year over Johnny Quick, and then because I like Cal Peterson a lot at goalie. like that. The way I'm looking at it, they got a young decor kinda. Like they got Drew Dow, or like Drew Dowdy's obviously older, but I'm saying like Dursey, Matt Roy, Spencer, or no Spence. I'm sorry, Walker. Yeah, they might be questionable a little bit on the decor, not a lot of studs, a lot of young guys, but their forwards are stacked. I think Quentin Byfield's gonna probably take a step. Dano, Fiala, Iafalo's good, Kayev. Like they're stacked up front, and there's a lot of two-way guys up there.
Yeah, I think the Kings are loaded with tons of young talent. They were impressive last year, and I think they even take the next step this year. My opinion here is I think they land Jacob Chikrin, and I think that's exactly what they need on the back end. They're in for him. They're in for him. They're one of the teams who's contending in the Chikrin sweepstakes. I think they land him. I definitely see them in the playoffs, and I think this team's a sneaky cup contender. Honestly, they're well built.
Right.
I love I was big on the Kings last year. Big on them again this year. All in on the Kings.
Yeah.
I think LA's back. LA's back.
Yeah, I like their forward. Like they got Anzi still, and he's probably obviously back 9 at this point, but like he
can still play.
Like, yeah, no, I'm not like saying that, but like he's younger than Bergeron by probably like a year, so like this guy's got another 5 years, and that's huge. Like he's the same guy as Bergeron, but obviously
they talk about Bergeron and all his Selke trophies. Like Kopitar could have just as many.
Oh, absolutely. You got Fiala to add to maybe like a line with Anzi Kopitar, and then you throw maybe I like Kaliev a lot. Like it's gonna be like a stud, but I don't think he cracks the first line. But like you throw Arvidsson. I like Arvidsson a lot too. Brandon Lemieux, he mixes it up. Trevor Moore, there's a Blake Lizotte too. They're a bunch of under. Like they had a kind of a step last year, like the Wings did. You know, where the Wings obviously didn't make the playoffs, but like this team just snuck in, and then they gave who'd they play in the first?
Calgary.
Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Edmonton. I had Kings winning that series, but obviously,
me too. That was tough. They were up 3 games to 2.
Yeah, they were. I love the way they play. They get in the corners. They're not afraid of anybody. It was a bad matchup for the Oilers, but the Oilers ended up winning that series just on talent alone.
Yeah, Kings are built for the playoffs too. The type of guys they have, a lot of grinders, a lot of guys who are not afraid to throw around the body.
Yeah,
I'm big on the Kings. I think they make a deep run this year. I'm all in.
Fiala, like I think that was a steal. I don't understand why the Wild got rid. Like Bob says, oh yeah, it's because he blanked in the playoffs. It's like that's not a reason to get rid of a guy. I don't think.
Yeah, he had big regular season numbers.
I'm like they got who the Wild get bad matchup like who they even play last year in the playoffs? I can't think of who they played.
St. Louis. They got bounced by St. Louis first.
But St. Louis is like the Kings, though. You know, like
they're built for the playoffs. Yeah,
they're not like I think they're ready. The Kings. They're one of my teams this year out of the West to at least get to the second round. Not make a huge run, but who knows.
Yeah, we'll see. I like the Kings. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. Sneaky cup contender, dark horse. All right, we got the top 2 here. We got the Oilers, Edmonton Oilers, second place last year, 104 points. Ended up losing in the conference finals to the Avs, getting swept. But I think they kind of overachieved, if you ask me. They added Matthias Janmark, Ryan Murray, Jack Campbell finally got a goaltender. They did part ways with Zach Kassian, Kyle Turris, Duncan Keith, Mikko Koskinen. They re-signed Evander Kane 4 years, $5 million. Kyle Yamamoto 2 years, and Jesse Puljujärvi for a year. What's your thoughts on Edmonton?
Edmonton, I think they're gonna be a better regular season team this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got to the conference finals this year. Just on talent alone, like I like the Oilers. Like they really were just down a goalie, and if they didn't have retirement home Mike Smith in the second round playing between the pipes, they make it there, and I think they're due. I'm not sleeping on Connor McDavid. This might be my hot take, but they're gonna make a run. I think like they have the roster like that. I think that kid Dylan Holloway is gonna make a huge jump. This year he's a young kid, 2001 product. They got Kane back to mix it up. Their defense, maybe Chicharin, if I'm saying it right, I probably butchered the fuck out of his name. Chikrin could end up in Edmonton.
That'd be big if they can land him.
They are not big on the back end, and he could easily be their number one defenseman, I think. Over maybe like who would you even say their number one?
Darnell.
Yeah,
that's what
I was thinking. Because you look at this decor and it's kind of in shambles. They don't really have anybody, if you ask me. They got their goalie. Maybe he's the one that saves them. But,
yeah,
like, he's going to have to stand on his head with this decor that they have.
Yeah, I think they finally got the goaltender upgrade that they needed with Jack Campbell. The question is just how good is he going to be? He started out red hot last year at Toronto, but then end of the season, he cooled off big time. He wasn't much of a help for them come playoff time. They finally, Mike Smith, that fossil, he's on long-term IR in the last year of his contract. I think he's just about all done. So it's good to see he won't be between the pipes for them. They didn't upgrade their defense, though, which was their big weakness, which, it's a big head scratcher for me. But they still have two of the league's biggest superstars, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So this team's going to go far. Playoff team for sure. Wouldn't surprise me if they're right back in the Western Conference Finals. They're that good, and McDavid and Draisaitl can just carry you as far as they can. They're like top talent in the league.
Yeah, like talent can just I think McDavid just got an it factor about him where I'm like, it doesn't matter. His team might be like not as talented, but that dude has like something in his head where it's just like it doesn't matter, Fuck. Getting shafted. I was like, where's Coco? Who you on tonight? Colts or Broncos? But yeah. Oh yeah. I just said working on it right now. I'm sure he's sitting there waiting for it.
All right, I'm back in.
Oils.
Dude, Craig definitely fucked this up.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck does it keep kicking me out?
Because Craig doesn't pay for it. What's up, Forbes?
What, the video? It's all right. We probably should just do audio for this because the video's probably fucked.
Yeah, the video is definitely fucked. Yeah, I can actually see you now, Coco.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You couldn't see before?
Nah. No, we're good. We're just gonna do the audio.
Yeah. Dude, Justin's gonna have a fucking bitch of a time editing this as it is.
All right.
Did you like write down the times when it was like cutting out?
I got this one, but the other two I didn't get the second one, and Craig, I don't know if Craig got the first one.
The first one was 40 minutes,
Yeah, Robbie sent that one in the group.
and then it was probably another 40 minutes. You know what I mean? After that, so
Yeah, true. They can like estimate it. All right. Did we finish the Oilers or are we still on them?
we can move on. I can't remember where we were. Like what we were.
Yeah, I don't remember either. All right. Lastly, we got the division champs, Calgary Flames, 111 points last year. They lost second round to Edmonton in 5 games. Kind of a disappointing performance for them in the Battle of Alberta in the playoffs. They had a wild offseason, to say the least. Couple blockbuster trades. They acquired Jonathan Huberdeau from the Florida Panthers as well as Mackenzie Weegar. They also signed Nazem Kadri, the Stanley Cup champ from Colorado, and Kevin Rooney. They did depart ways of 2 of their best players, Johnny Gaudreau and Matty Tkachuk, and also Sean Monahan. They then re-signed Jonathan Huberdeau for 8 years, $10.5 million. They also re-signed guys like Magna Piane, Trevor Lewis, and Nikita Zadorov and Oliver Killington. Snipsky, what's your thoughts on Calgary?
I like Calgary. I know they got rid of 2 of their top dogs, but Gaudreau, for a good like trade, non-trade, Huberdeau fill in for him. It's probably a good like they're kind of like deep a little bit like when it comes to their centers. I like Calgary to make the playoffs still. Like they didn't panic really. They went and were like, all right, see you later, Johnny. We'll get Huberdeau and Kadri, and they got rid of Tkachuk, which might be the bigger like out of the like losses maybe, because Kachuk's kind of like one of those guys is like, yeah, that's my guy. He's like the centerpiece maybe. But hey, Johnny Gaudreau is a good wing, but he also is kind of like, is he built to like win, help us win? You know, like he's a good play, like maybe a good accessory. But hey, they could be deeper now. Like they're probably under the cap more too, and they got some good players like Toffoli's sneaky, Kevin Rooney's good, Mangiapane he emerged the last couple years. Elias Lindholm they still have, Kadri, like they're deep center wise. It just depends on how they're gonna use them. Then they got Markstrom. If he's a choke artist, they're screwed. I mean, Vladar's a good backup. But, hey, if Markstrom's got the yips after losing the Oilers the way he did, it's tough. Their decor is good. I love the decor.
Yeah, I definitely hear your concern with Jacob Markstrom. He was one of the better goaltenders in the league in the regular season. I believe he was a Vezina finalist. And then just in that Edmonton series, he completely shit the bed. So definitely need him to bounce back if they want to be as good as they were last year. Calgary, honestly, they lost their 2 best players, Johnny Gaudreau and Matty Tkachuk, but somehow they got better.
Yeah.
Looking at the roster, I mean, Huberdeau for Tkachuk, and then they threw in Weegar. Weegar's a hell of a player.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought Huberdeau for Tkachuk straight up might have been, a decent trade, and then you throw in Weegar. I think that trade was lopsided in favor for Calgary.
Yep.
And then add in a Stanley Cup champion, Nazem Kadri. I think they overpaid him, 7 years, $7 million, but he's going to help out in the short term. Johnny Gaudreau, great hockey player, but he's the type of guy, he's only as good as the players that are around him.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to have as big as a year in Columbus. Kachuk, definitely probably their biggest loss. I mean, he's the grit. He was the backbone of that team. But when you bring in a Kadri, you bring in a Uyghur,
Yep.
a Huberdeau, who Coach Sutter said is the best passer in the league. And that's fact, hands down. He led the league in assists. That guy's a certified playmaker. And then just on top of the guys they already had on this roster, this might be the deepest roster in the league. I think they can go toe-to-toe with Colorado.
Yeah.
Coach Sutter behind the bench, he's a legend, solidified, great coach. I think playoffs, absolutely. I think they win the division again. This is my early pick to win the cup. I'm in on the Flames. I was big on them last year. I went on the Flames to win the cup. They let me down against Edmonton, but I'm hopping right back on the bandwagon. I'm a Calgary Flame this year, plus 1,600 to win the cup. I would jump all over that.
That's awesome value. It's just like you look at it like Dylan Dubé. They have how many centers on this roster? They have 9.
They're loaded.
And like one of those guys, like even if Elias Lindholm gets hurt, Trevor Lewis, Nazem Kadri, Huberdeau,
the list keeps going.
Dubé, Coleman, Backlund, like Rooney, like that. It's nuts. But like if you look at their decor, Rasmus Anderson, stud, Hannafin, stud, Oliver Schilling, stud,
Zadorov,
Chris, yeah, Tanev, Uyghur, Zadorov. Like it really comes. I scroll down, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay, this team's legit. And then you go down, you're like, if Markstrom doesn't crap down his leg, like literally this team can win. Like you said, the cup possibly.
Yeah. It's all dependent on Jacob Markstrom if he can bounce back. This roster is unbelievable.
We could be looking at like a Colorado Avalanche type situation where the goalie's like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Everything's legit, but can Kemper like not crap himself, you know?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are writing off Calgary too. They're like, oh, Huberdeau or Johnny Hockey's gone and Matty Tkachuk's gone.
Yeah,
they're not going to be the same team. No. Look at them on paper. They improve.
Legit.
And I think that this is a wagon. I think the Flames are going to be slept on, and they're going to be a wagon this year, go toe-to-toe with Colorado. I think this is a team that takes down Colorado in, say, the Western Conference Finals.
It's
my pick.
Kadri's
I'll
going to
be
haunting everybody.
Yep. Kadri back at it against Colorado. That's going to be a hell of a story.
Takes out Georgiev in the second round.
That's what you need. You need guys like that who are gritty, going to make a difference. I mean, I think they had probably the best offseason out of anyone this year.
Yeah, they cleared cap space like with Gaudreau, and they were like, all right, Nazem, what do you want? They waited on him. You could tell it took him a while to get. Yeah,
he was on the market for a while. And then, honestly, 7 years, $7 million. He's only getting paid $1 million a year. That's kind of a deal, but the 7 years is too much.
It's only $1 million. I think it's 7 for 7. Like it's 7.
Oh, is it 7 a year?
Yeah, the way they
overpay.
Yeah, the way they do it in the NHL, they don't go by the whole. Total. Yeah, they go 7 like a year. Like, oh yeah, he's 7 for 7, which means 1 year 7.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a shit ton of money. He just got basically $50 million. That's a ton. He got paid for sure, but deservedly so. He showed up in the playoffs last year, scored some big goals.
If Calgary can like afford that with this roster, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, and then they signed Huberdeau 8 years, 10.5 a year.
Yeah, that's the joy of getting rid. I guess that helps them getting rid of Johnny. You know, like, all right, so we don't want Johnny Hockey. We can sign him instead. Yeah,
I'm not as surprised that they didn't kind of go after Johnny Hockey as much as they did. I think they were pretty content with letting him walk.
Supposedly, they offered him like the max, and he said, "I just don't want to be here." And
Wow.
he took less. He took less in Columbus. I think he took like 8, and they wanted to give him like 10 in
Yeah.
Calgary, which I
Hey,
don't know
he
why
could-
you'd want to live in Canada anyway. But
Yeah. Come next May, he might be regretting that.
hey, yeah, we'll see. He'll probably get all his points over in Columbus, but probably not going anywhere otherwise.
Yeah. But yeah, Flames plus 1,600 to win the cup. Hop on it now. The odds are only going to go down once the season starts. This
Yeah,
is as
once
high
they
as they'll
start
get.
winning, yeah.
All right, that about wraps up our Western Conference preview. We got one more segment today, our gambling corner. So hear me out on this. We'll run this by Bob too. So I say we take season-long records for the gambling corner, tally them up at the end of the year. First place gets a trophy. We'll get a trophy,
Yeah.
and we're gonna name it the Evander Kane Gambler of the Year Award.
Yeah. Love that. Let's go.
So we'll keep a season-long standards. We'll keep track of the picks. First place is gonna get the Evander Kane Gambler of the Year Award.
Instead of gambler, can we say the Evander Kane Degenerate of the Year?
Yeah,
let's
I'm
do
all
that.
in. Yeah,
that
Evander
sounds
Kane Degenerate of the Year
Yeah,
Award.
that sounds nasty. Because I'm gonna
And
be a
then-
degenerate this year. Other than that.
So we'll keep track of the weekly gambling corner picks on the pod. Season-long standings. Winner, Evander Kane Degenerate of the Year. Last place. Hear me out on this. Last
Okay.
place gets the Goldberg treatment from Mighty Ducks D1, where they tied him up in the net and everyone just ripped shots
rip
at him.
shots.
But you can't wear any chest protector, only helmet.
What, Happy Gilmore jump into the batting cage?
Yeah,
Only
basically.
364 more days till hockey.
We'll go to a
tryouts.
street hockey course, and the loser has to get tied up to a net, and then we just get to tee off.
How about even better, Hancock Cup next year, in front of everybody.
I'm in. Yeah,
and
fuck
then
it.
like there's just a crowd
Put on a
in front of
show.
everybody, and then
Yeah,
they
Do it at like halftime or one
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
games,
like
or like the
when-
championship.
Yeah, like when they're like, all right, like ask Timmy, yeah, whenever you
All
guys
right.
want a break.
So we're in agreement on that. First place, Evander Kane Degenerate of the Year. Last place gets the Goldberg treatment, tied to a net, and we just tee off on them. We'll do like tennis balls.
Yeah, tennis balls,
something.
or we could do hockey balls. Hockey
Yeah,
balls wouldn't
maybe
be
street
too bad.
street hockey ball.
You get a
yeah.
welt. This is how
You
things
can
are.
wear a cup. You can wear a cup, and that's it.
I'm not wearing a
'Cause
cup.
I'm not taking one off the dick. That's it. Tied to the net, and we just tee off.
Shit,
on
I'm
it.
not trying to have kids. I'm trying to raw dog.
All right. So let's get into our gambling corner picks this week. We'll highlight 5 games a week. So this week, we'll kick off with tomorrow night, the NHL season opener, San Jose Sharks versus the Nashville Predators. First game of the NHL season, and it's being played in Prague, Czech Republic. We talked about last week how they weren't letting the Russian players travel to Czech. They cleared them. They're good to go.
Oh, so they're not worried about Czech getting ambushed.
Yeah, NHL cleared them. Players are good to go. Everyone's going to be there. Snipsky, what's your pick? Sharks, Preds tomorrow night, kicking off the season.
I'm definitely going Nash. I mean, it's minus 200, which is like not nuts, but it's like borderline where it's like, all right, there might be something going on here. Like we don't know, like if I saw like minus 180, 170, like under 200, I've been like, all right, like they're gonna smoke them, but plus 200 for the Sharks is kind of like up in the air. But I'm going with Preds. Preds got a better lineup. I see the boys pulling it out, especially with Yossi leading the way, and they got UC Saros probably gonna shut it down in that.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. So every game we highlight, you have to give at least one pick. You can give more than one pick. It can be money line, puck line, or over under. You don't have to take a side. You could go over under too, but you have to have at least one pick on every game we highlight.
All right, I'll clarify it. I will go Predators money line.
Money line. Okay. What's the over under on this one? You got that up in front of you?
I can look real quick right now. 5.5.
I honestly didn't even look at the odds. I had no idea.
It's 5.5.
5.5?
Minus
That's kinda
200.
low.
Yeah, minus 200 Nash.
That's a little low. You know what? I'm going San Jose. I'm going to take the
All right.
risk. I'm going to go San Jose. Thomas Hurdle's returning home. This is his hometown, Prague, Czech Republic. He might put on a show. Give me San Jose.
Yeah, you know,
It's a toss
yeah,
up,
the
though.
puck,
It's so early
yeah,
in the season.
the puck might drop a different way. You know, that's all that matters. You know?
Yeah. I just like Thomas Hurdle, hometown, Prague. Give me Sharks. Butts, who you got?
I think with the first game being away in like another nation, I'm gonna go with the over 5.5.
I don't hate it. I was considering it. It's so low, I feel like 5.5. Could see a
Yeah.
shootout first game.
Yeah, who's even in net for the Sharks though? That's what I want to know.
Kakkonen? Is
Oh,
he the starter?
Kokkinen. Oh, he got lit up last year in Minnesota, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I smell goals.
yeah. I mean, I think it could be either Nashville dominates with their goaltending and scores a ton of goals, or because I like their goaltending a lot, Lankinen and Saros compared to Kokkinen. I think it could be a Blowski.
Yeah.
Being in another country, they're gonna try to put on a show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys gonna try and do crazy shit. Highlight reels.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like European players on both teams, I think, right?
All right, so
it
Snipsky's on Nashville. I'm on San Jose. Butts got the over. We'll have to add in Bob's picks later on. All right, that's the really only game this weekend. The Sharks and Preds are playing again on Saturday, but I'm not gonna make us pick that again. So we're gonna go to next Tuesday when NHL opens up here in North America. We have a good matchup here Tuesday night. Tampa Bay Lightning at the New York Rangers. Rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. This is a sick game for opening night. Lightning, Rags, Snipsky, I'll start with you. Who you going with?
Yep. Yeah. So I was looking at this the other night when I was in the watching hockey, and I was like, Tampa's not even favorite. I mean, I know they're not, like, they might not get off the hot start with some guys that are out, but I was really looking at Tampa reverse puck line.
I don't hate. So Lightning are underdogs in this one?
Yeah. It says Rangers
crazy.
here -120.
Okay.
And the Rangers had a hard time with the Bruins. I mean, I know they didn't have Shesterkin in net, and he had the shits, they said. That's why he didn't. That's why he didn't show up for the game. But I just can't sleep on the Lightning getting puck lined. You know, I don't think it's gonna happen. Tampa's missing Sorelli, but I think they're too good of a organization to get puck line first game. So I'd go reverse puck line Tampa.
Tampa reverse puck line. Don't hate it. I think it's gonna be a close game. What's the over under?
I can look it up right now. It's probably around 5.5. Probably the same thing. I want to say,
6?
yeah, it's 5.5. They're playing it safe, Vegas. But I wouldn't hate going money line with Lightning either, because they still got Vasilevsky in net too. You know, it's gonna be a low scoring game.
Yeah, I agree. I hate doing it, but give me the under. Both these goaltenders are too good, Vasi and Shersky, and I think first game teams might be feeling each other out a little bit. You know, brushing off the rust. I'm gonna go under 5.5. I can't go either side here. I think it's too close to call.
Mhm.
So give me the under. But what do you got?
Then I think Rangers gonna be an absolute wagon this year, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Rangers money line.
Rags at home too. Home openers, crowd's gonna be buzzing.
Yeah.
Love it. So Snipsky, Tampa puck line. I got the under, Butts going with the Rags, the homeboys. All right, another game on Tuesday night. We got a Pacific Division showdown. It's the Vegas Golden Knights at the LA Kings. Snipsky, we'll start with you. Who do you like in this one?
The Kings are favored. I probably this one's tough because obviously you haven't seen them really play yet, like full tilt. But I mean, the Knights got Cassie, and I think this one's tough. I don't know. I'm gonna probably go with the Knights because I've been going. Last pick was favorite. Oh no, it was underdog. I went with the okay. So I'm gonna go with the Kings. Screw it. I'm gonna go with the Kings.
He's flip flopping.
Yeah,
like a
no,
fish.
I. It's just tough because I haven't seen these guys full tilt yet.
Yeah, no,
no,
these are
it's-
coin flips.
Yeah,
these
it
are
is.
coin
It
flips.
is a coin
honestly.
flip because I really like the Kings, and it might be a tough matchup for the Knights, who are kind of a run and gun, but they
Yeah.
are figuring it out defensive wise with Bruce Cassidy. Give me the Kings. Just
Yeah.
money line.
Yeah, I got Kings minus 115 here. Total is 6. I'm going Kings too.
Yeah.
Home opener in LA. A lot of celebrities going to be there. Place is going to be buzzing. You heard me talk about the Kings earlier. I think the Kings are a sneaky cup contender. I'm not sold on Vegas. Give me Kings. Butts, what do you got?
I'm gonna be the odd one out. I'm gonna go with the Knights.
Vegas, Brucey's debut.
It's a way to go. Like if we both pick Kings, just go. Yeah, like I would too. Unless I was like completely sure.
All right, moving on to Wednesday night for our final 2 games. We got the battle of the banged up. Both these teams missing some of their key players early on. It's the Boston Bruins traveling to Washington to take on the Capitals. Snipsky, what do you think about this one?
I mean they're I don't know what the Bruins are looking like full tilt because like they're
Yeah.
missing everybody, but I'm not sleeping on Washington. I'm gonna take Washington and I'm gonna take the puck line on that, honestly.
Yeah. So I should have said it's Caps minus 140 money line. Total is 6.5.
The under might be in play there. You
I
think?
was thinking it. I don't want to be an under guy, but I might have to.
I see
Snipsy
Wa-
going Caps puck line?
I see Washington minus 160 now.
Yeah, could even be that high.
And
Ah.
the Bruins, I mean, unless their first and second line looks like it's figured out now, but why? I don't know. We'll have to I'm gonna sleep on the Bruins for now until they get everything figured out.
Yeah. This game stinks. Honestly, this game stinks. The best players from both teams are missing. But, I mean, looking at it, Washington's pretty banged up. Oshie day-to-day. Backstrom's on the IR. Orlov's day-to-day. Hagelin's on the IR. Tom Wilson, their bullies on the IR. I'm going to go Bruins. I think they get it done somehow. They haven't looked terrible this preseason. I think they have the goaltend advantage, too. I'm going to go Bees. I think Bees steal one here. I don't think they're going to be
Quite
very
possibly,
competitive, but
yeah.
against a team like Washington, who's banged up as basically as much as we are, I'm going to take the Bruins. Butts, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the under,
Yeah, that's probably a good play. 6.5's a ton of goals for opening night.
especially with Sway Daddy in there.
Yeah, Sway's the way.
Yeah, they were kind of hanging them out though. Not great defense in front of the net. So, this preseason from what I saw.
All right, last game of the week. It's a Wednesday night, late one, 10 o'clock on the West Coast. It's Seattle Kraken at the Anaheim Ducks. Ducks are minus 130. Total is 6. Snipsky, who you got?
I'm smoking crack. And
I'm a crackhead too.
yeah,
Give
I'm
me all the
smoking
crack. I'm in
crack.
on the Kraken. I don't know how the Kraken are underdogs here, honestly.
Yeah,
I think the Kraken are a better team.
Down, boys.
I'm a crack.
Yeah, it's a consensus. Crackheads.
I'm gonna be on the corner with my crackhead jersey on. But
Catch me
yeah.
on the corner selling crack.
the over
Kraken
under
all
the
day.
over under is even 6.
I don't.
Uh,
You know what? Give me the over too.
yeah,
Throw in the over.
yeah.
I'll take the
I
over
mean,
6.
Gibby's in that and Grubauer. That's a weird line to have 6 for a hockey game. Seems like
Yeah.
they're looking for it's gonna be overtime or it's gonna be like really low scoring.
Both teams are so young, and I feel like both teams are offensive minded. I could see a shootout here. I could see limited defense and some goals.
Yeah.
A lot of goals. I'll take the over as
What-
well.
what'd you
Yeah,
say?
double
What were you
down.
gonna say,
Kraken
Butts?
in the over.
I would say I think Vegas knows about as much as we do about this game about to happen.
Yeah. I think they
Yeah, right. Quick 0-5 week incoming.
Yeah, I know. Hey, there's a lot more picks to be made.
All right, so yeah, those are the week 1 picks. It's gonna be a marathon, not a race here. It's a long season, so we'll keep you updated on the standings. see who's in first for the Evander Kane Degenerate of the Year, and see who's in last. Going to be getting the Goldberg treatment. It's not going to be fun. All right. I think that about wraps it up for us tonight. As always, we'd like to thank our producer, Hedgebetter Technologies. They continue to revolutionize the sports betting industry. So if you haven't already, be sure to go check them out over at www.hedgebetter.com. We mentioned it last week, Movember golf tourney. It's almost a done deal, just finalizing the date. It's going to be at Braintree Golf Course, Braintree Municipal. We'll finalize the date. We'll keep you posted on that. We already looks like we got 17 teams interested. That's awesome. Going to be a lot of money raised for the November Foundation. Love to see it. So if anyone else is interested, let us know ASAP. We might have to cap it at 18, but we'll see if we can get more teams involved if the interest is there. Remember, as always, you can hit us up for merch. We got hats, we got jerseys, we got t-shirts. DM us, let us know. And I think that just about wraps it up. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you all for tuning in to another High Slot podcast. Be sure to go check us out over on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at High Slot Podcast for more daily hockey content. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.